are no words to describe this week's tragedy here in Las Vegas, or the horror of innocent lives taken too soon. But out of the chaos and the anger, the world witnessed what we've always known. The city is brave, compassionate, and strong. In that moment, when we needed each other the most, our community never hesitated. From the first responders, to the selfless heroes, to the local companies, everyone stepped up to give back to a city that's given us all so much. And it doesn't stop here. Don't be afraid. Don't let fear stop you. Continue to live your life to the fullest and experience everything that life has to offer. We will forever remember those affected by this disgusting and cowardly act, and keep them in our thoughts and in our hearts. Together, we will heal. Together, we will help the victims and their families. And together, we will be stronger than ever.
Ladies and gentlemen, the nation recently experienced a terrible tragedy here in Las Vegas, an event that claimed the lives of 58 innocent people and wounded 489 more. We grieve with all those whose loved ones were lost and with everyone affected by this devastating event. We also, though, would like to acknowledge the heroic efforts of our first responders and medical staff, many of whom are here in the building with us this evening. We are honored to have with us tonight 6 people who were deeply impacted by Sunday's events. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police officer who was wounded in the line of duty, Casey Clarkson. Another member of the Las Vegas Metro Police Force, Brady Cook. A concert goer and local resident wounded in the attack, Ashley Kiocho. High school twin sisters, both injured in Sunday's events, Gianna and Natalia Buck. And another victim of Sunday's unimaginable events, Parker Marks. At this time, we ask you to please rise as we welcome to the Octagon Grammy Award-winning artist Everlast for the singing of America the Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious sky, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesty, above our fruited plains. America, America, God shed His grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. America, America, God shed His grace on thee. Crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. From sea to shining sea.
I pose something that these fighters don't. And I believe that stylistically, I have the scrambling ability, the striking ability to hang with Demetrius, and tonight I'm going to show the world that I mean business.
Anderson Silva's record is awesome. 10 consecutive title defenses. It's nice to have my name next to him, but it's time for me to surpass this man and become legendary status again in 11 consecutive title defenses.
Every time Tony Ferguson does something crazy, I'm going to make him pay for it. I'm going to hit him, I'm going to take him down, I'm going to rough him up for it, and he's going to be in there for the long haul.
Kevin Lee or anybody else is going to deserve this matchup. It's who the UFC puts in front of me. And right now, Kevin Lee's in front of me, and he's the problem. And I got the solution for that little wise ass.
Time to end this suffering. I need a minute to myself. Sure. You will never get to me. What can't be done, I'll do myself. What you want to fall? What you look at control? What you want to fall? No one. I want to fight. What you want to fall? What you look at control? What you want to fall? No one. I want to fight. You will never get to me. What can't be done, I'll do myself. What you want to fall? What you look at control? What you want to fall? No one. I want to fight. Make the pain, no escape, you step to this. Make the pain, no escape, you step to this. Make the pain, make the pain, rip me into pieces. Make the pain, no escape, you step to this. Make the pain, no escape, you step to this. Make the pain, rip me into pieces. Into pieces.
A good evening to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, where the atmosphere has been somber in this usually vibrant city. Tonight, some of the greatest athletes in the world look to inspire a community in need. The main event fighter arrivals brought to you by Harley-Davidson. See your dealer today and learn to ride like some of your favorite UFC fighters with Harley-Davidson Riding Academy. Live your legend. And this was the scene as Tony Ferguson made his way to the venue on the night of his first UFC title fight. He has systematically and decisively run roughshod through this lightweight division. As focused as ever, he'll try to exit a UFC champion tonight. Same goal applies for his opponent, the 25-year-old Motown phenom, Kevin Lee. Now based here in Vegas, Lee has come on strong, 4 consecutive stoppage wins, and says he will try to give his adopted and beloved city reason to celebrate tonight. Live inside the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, this is UFC 216, Ferguson versus Lee. Closed captioning is available for tonight's telecast. Tonight's broadcast is also available in Spanish, brought to you by UFCEspanol.com. And with that, I'm John Anik. Thank you for being with us for UFC 216. It has been a trying and emotional week for Las Vegas. This community was under attack. It's metal tested like never before. But the response from this town coming to the rescue of its own was absolutely remarkable and gives us all confidence that this city will soon get back to what it does best. That lies at the heart of our mission here tonight. Glad to welcome in my broadcast partners, Joe Rogan, UFC light heavyweight champion Daniel Cormier. Crazy backdrop, obviously, to this evening's fights, but these athletes are looking to inspire here in Vegas.
They absolutely are, and that's the only thing we can do is try to return to normal and try to entertain tonight, and try to put on the best possible fight card that we can, and I think we have a phenomenal card to entertain these people with tonight.
You know, man, when you deal with something like this, you never know how a city's going to respond. We come to Vegas to escape. This city was dealt a blow, but you learned a lot about Las Vegas during this week. The people have come together like nothing you could ever have imagined. This country continues to impress and come together in difficult times. I'm still choked up after hearing America the Beautiful a few minutes ago. I mean, it's a great place, and hopefully for the next few hours, we can give you some normalcy and entertain you a little bit.
Well put, and I think these fighters, to a man, to a woman, just jonesing to put on for this city tonight. And to that end, how about this main event, Joe Rogan? UFC Interim Lightweight Championship, Tony Ferguson with the longest winning streak this division has ever seen, trying to leave with gold as he takes on the Motown phenom, Kevin Lee.
I love this fight, and this fight is what it's really all about. What it's all about is a fantastic veteran like Tony Ferguson, a guy that we've seen win the Ultimate Fighter and emerge to be the top contender in this division. An incredibly unorthodox and creative fighter, very unpredictable with a wide range of skills. Spectacular knockout ability, spectacular submission ability, and an unprecedented win streak in the talent-rich lightweight division.
But you want to talk about swagger, you want to talk about the new generation, you want to talk about a young man that has all the ability to be a star in this game. You're talking about the Motown phenom, Kevin Lee. Another guy that has a great wrestling background, but all the other skills have started to catch up. Now he can grapple with the best, as we saw in the Chiesa fight. He can stand and strike with the best. When he was dealt adversity, Kevin Lee took that, learned from it, and became the man that you see right now.
Weigh-in day was trying for Kevin Lee, and how about Tony Ferguson, forever in his own world during fight?
In his own world, listening to music, dancing and singing. It's beautiful. Look, Tony Ferguson is a weird dude. He makes his own training equipment, builds his own stage inside his octagon where he has a house in Big Bear. He's a very unique guy with tremendous work ethic, and he has been waiting for this moment forever. And Kevin Lee has everything you want to see in a young star. He's got the swagger, he talks trash in a phenomenal way, and he can fight.
Yes.
This is an amazing, amazing matchup.
And we know you love his outfits. You got to get some of those
the way
threads.
he dresses.
We'd like to throw Joe in one of those overalls he was wearing the other
Forget
day.
the all black. Co-headliner tonight, boys. One way or another, UFC history is going to be made. Demetrious Johnson has prioritized this record. Tonight, he goes for a 11th consecutive defense. Ray Borg, the man in his way.
It's an amazing fight and an opportunity, in my opinion, to see the greatest of all time. That man right there is the greatest mixed martial arts fighter that has ever lived. He has the most spectacular skill set of any fighter that has ever competed in any organization ever. He has been able to dominate with knockouts, with submissions, and just with an unprecedented level of skill. He is the high watermark for martial artists.
He may be the best of all time, but you're talking about a guy in Ray Borg that has been bred for this moment. They knew the success would come when he got into the UFC. Let's build success to get to the title shot so that we can knock off the GOAT. Ray Borg has well-rounded skills. He can grapple, he can wrestle, he can stand and strike, and he has the confidence to believe that he can beat DJ.
He also was on weight at 6:45 a.m. Friday morning, 2 hours before he had to make the mark. He wanted to send a statement on the scale, and I think he did that.
I think he did that as well, and that has been the knock against him up until now. And I think another huge factor is the speed of Ray Borg.
Yeah.
I believe he would be the fastest guy that Mighty Mouse has faced in a long time.
And that's where people struggle with Mighty Mouse, right, is the speed.
Right.
This guy may be as fast as Demetrius.
All right, well, it is always great to have you with us, but especially so here tonight in Las Vegas. Several great matchups coming up. And how about this for a spotlight to make your UFC debut? American top teams Mara Romero Borella set to become the first Italian woman to grace the octagon here tonight. And she draws a fellow newcomer in Sao Paulo's Kalindra Faria, a Muay Thai striker for whom it took 25 pro fights to get here. She's certainly looking to get off to a good start in the big show tonight. All right, coming up next to kick off the pay-per-view, a pair of lightweights who have been staples of the rankings for some time. Beneil Dariush has become a potent finisher, and he'll try to put it all together in this spot tonight, opposite the quietly streaking Evan Dunham, a longtime Las Vegas resident who can run his winning streak to 5 in the role of home underdog here tonight. Let's get you the rules of the octagon. 3 judges score the bout. The bout duration is 3 5-minute rounds. For championship fights and all UFC main events, we go 5 5-minute rounds. A 10-point must-scoring system is in effect. The round winner gets 10 points, his or her opponent 9 or fewer, and scoring is based on effective striking and grappling, followed by aggression, and then octagon control in that order. Also, not trying to confuse you, but the Nevada State Athletic Commission has not yet adopted the new unified rules for 2017, so those changes not in effect here tonight. As always, the fighters have been made aware. All right, just about ready to go with live action from Vegas. Great to have you with us tonight on pay-per-view. Well, after years of scraps with the best the division has to offer, Evan Dunham keeps that trend going tonight when he takes on another contender, the King's MMA rep, Beneil Dariush. The lightweight division has produced several elite fighters over the years, but few have shown the ability to mix striking and grappling into a thrilling fight night package like Beneil Dariush and Evan Dunham have. Tonight, their paths cross for the first time.
Beneil and I are going to go in there, put it all on the line. He's an exciting fighter. I'm an exciting fighter, and we'll show that tonight.
I'm capable of beating anybody in this division on any given night, so I think I'm one of the best 55ers in the world.
Las Vegas' own Evan Dunham has always kept a low profile, everywhere but in the octagon. Now as he embarks upon his 18th UFC appearance, 4 consecutive wins have Dunham on the verge of big things in this most competitive weight class.
The lightweight division's the best in the organization. I'm right at the top, and I'm going to prove that when I beat Beneil tonight.
A Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt whose knockout power was evident in his 2016 finish of James Vick. Beneil Dariush has also produced against respected contenders Michael Johnson, Jim Miller, and Rashid Magomedov. And if he can add Dunham to that list tonight, 2018 is going to be an interesting one for the Californian.
Bad matchup for Evan or anybody else because I'm better than them in every position, every place, and it's going to be shown tonight.
So here's the proud Las Vegas resident, Evan Dunham, coming out with the Nevada state flag, battle-born, and here's Evan Dunham, number 14 in the world. And Joe, a little bit out of sight, out of mind, he ends the longest layoff of his career, 385 days here tonight.
And the last 3 fights that we've seen from him inside the octagon, he's won over very impressive competition. Ross Pearson, Joe Lozon, and then beat Rick Glenn, who looked absolutely sensational in his last outing.
Right.
Evan Dunham, when he's putting it together, is an excellent fighter. He's got a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, very strong striking, very good endurance, and a wealth of experience.
To hang for his friends, and they get the job done. I talked to him the other day, and I go, what have you been doing in the time away, Evan? He goes, I was just training. I had a kid, nothing too much. He said that he does his strength and conditioning at the UFC Performance Institute.
Yep.
But everything else, him and his buddies just kind of get together and they work out. He meets his boxing coach, Gil Martinez, and then he just works out with his buddies. And look at how well he's doing. He's just let all the pressure go, and he's just being Evan Dunham.
Yeah, he left Extreme Couture prior to this current 4-fight winning streak. And man, is he proud to represent Nevada here tonight. Born in Eugene, Oregon, Evan Dunham has lived in Las Vegas for more than a decade. He comes in tonight number 14 in the world, 5-time UFC bonus winner. Let's see how it goes for the well-rounded Evan Dunham here tonight. That Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt under the great Robert Drysdale, plus striker. Big spot for Dunham against a contender tonight. Well, Evan Dunham said he wanted a hard fight. The UFC kept giving him guys who on paper he was supposed to beat. He wanted to be the underdog. Ask and you shall receive as he takes on 12th ranked Beneil Dariush.
And Beneil Dariush is an excellent fighter, a tremendous ground game, black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well, with very dynamic submission skills, and under the tutelage of Rafael Cordeiro has really raised up the level of his striking to the level of his ground game. Just a very complete mixed martial arts fighter. He's coming off of a knockout loss to Edson Barboza, but Edson Barboza is one of the greatest strikers in the sport, and he would love to rebound tonight with a victory over the very tough and durable Evan Dunham.
Beneil Dariush has been at King's MMA for a while. He said that during his training camp, being in camp with Verdun, a longtime veteran, a team captain, it's actually lent itself to his preparation. He said the other day he's got the nervous jitters, Joe. As you said, he lost his last fight, so you want to continue to work. You want to do everything. He said as he was moving around after they were done training, Verdum walked over to him and put his hand on his shoulder and said, "Enough, you're ready." He goes, "No, you don't have to worry. You have done everything you need to do to prepare for this fight." So having his teammate on the same fight card is really going to benefit him as he steps into the octagon.
And the Barboza fight for Beneil Dariush, a valuable learning tool. He said tonight his biggest focus is actually octagon awareness. He said, I need to cut him off. Dunham should never be comfortable. And he said, if I'm backing up, it's for a reason. So Beneil Dariush, Evan Dunham, two evenly matched lightweights looking to track their careers forward with a win tonight. All right, with that backdrop, let's get to the tail of the tape. Beneil Dariush, 28 years old. Evan Dunham will be 36 in December. Both fighters 5'10" tall. Both weighed in at 156 pounds. 2-inch reach advantage for the Iranian-born Beneil Dariush. All right, now to get us started for the main card with the introductions, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas for UFC 216, Ferguson versus Lee. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a freestyle fighter holding a professional record, 18 wins, 6 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 156 pounds. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Evan Dunham! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 14 wins, 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 156 pounds. Fighting out of Yorba Linda, California, by way of go top pay around, Beneil Dariush! And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Dan Miragliotta.
Dan Miragliotta, our referee for this one. The beautiful Brittany Palmer is with us, wearing the Vegas Strong t-shirt. Don't forget you can buy those, UFCstore.com. Also at venue retail locations.
All right, sir,
all of the proceeds
ready,
going
to
the victims and the families after what transpired here last Sunday. All right, round 1 underway here. A couple of lightweight southpaws. Beneil Dariush in the dark gray. Evan Dunham is in blue.
Evan Dunham has a very educated jab and very skillful with both his stand-up and the ground game. And Beneil Dariush is really one of the best in the division when it comes to the groundwork.
We trot out the term well-rounded all the time in modern-day mixed martial arts, but Dunham really fits the bill. And even Dariush said that his versatility is his biggest weapon. If his striking's not working, he'll go grab it.
And you have to be able to do that. If you want to have a long, successful career, you've got to be able to be efficient in everything inside the octagon. And there you see Evan Dunham change levels, trying to catch a kick and go for a takedown.
That was a beautiful kick by Dariush. And that's the big improvement in Dariush's career from the time he started with MMA, is his striking. Recognized as a really decorated grappling competitor, but really his striking has improved in leaps and bounds.
Well, you've seen that out of King's MMA. They made Verdum a very good striker in heavyweight. Yeah, you got Dos Santos, turned him into a world champion, and Dariush. You know, taking these grapplers and teaching them to be comfortable in the stand-up. But Dariush is really throwing with power there. Barely missed on an uppercut right here in the inside.
And Rafael Dos Anjos has moved on from King's MMA, but still trains with Dariush once a week.
Dunham is really moving a lot along the side of the octagon.
Oh, fade away left hand there by Dariush.
Loopy.
Yeah, very, very sneaky. Oh, nice elbow by Dariush. I think Evan's really badly hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt really bad.
Yeah, great location on that second elbow.
Tremendous power in that. Dariush is wrapping him up.
He's got to be careful here.
Evan's in serious trouble here. He's having a hard time just defending.
You've got to roll to your back, yes.
He's not in that position. Dariush rolls right with him, anticipating the position.
As you said, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt himself.
Yeah, both guys very, very good on the ground. Oh, man.
Dunham's hurt bad.
He's really hurt. I mean, Dariush.
And landed some nasty
He's got to look out for his leg. Look out for that right leg.
The problem with rolling leg lock in MMA, man, is you get beat up, especially if you're a little bit hurt.
That left hand knocks Dunham's head off the canvas. Still plenty of time here for Dariush to work.
This is where Dunham needs to pull him into him here in the half guard.
Dunham is so durable, and this is what you're seeing from a real veteran like Dunham, figuring out a way to survive when he's hurt and recover.
Yeah, last thing Dunham's ever looking for is a way out. 2 minutes here to go round one.
Yeah, that's the truth. Just incredibly tough guy.
Dunham, a 5-time UFC bonus winner. Head strikes, no surprise, all Beneil Dariush.
Gotta look out for the Dars here.
Dunham's got to be careful as he stands. Watch knees to the body. And he can frame him with his left hand and start to throw elbows again to the side of his head. He's got to be very careful. Dariush is doing everything with so much power that every strike is affecting Dunham, and it's very visible that that everything he's doing is hurting him.
These are very
beautiful scramble, almost mounted, but Evan got that right knee into position.
He's still wobbling.
Man, yeah, he is.
He is still.
Leg lock.
Yep.
No, he's not running. Evan's still holding onto the ankle, but look at that, so game.
Right into the single leg.
Going for the deep half here, trying to use that right underhook. Oh man, getting beat up here from the top position by Dariush.
25 seconds, Evan.
That's the craziest thing about jiu-jitsu as it applies to MMA is a lot of traditional jiu-jitsu gets you smashed if you're not very careful. You know, everything has to be fast when you're inside of the octagon.
Yeah, and there's a lot of positions that really don't work when your opponent has the opportunity to punch you.
Yeah.
Another crisp elbow from Beneil Dariush.
Back up. Look at that.
And he's recovered, obviously.
And a big deep breath from Beneil Dariush, so a lot of energy expended by Dariush offensively. Next level toughness from Evan Dunham here in round one. Dariush loaded up. Nothing doing. But a strong first round for Beneil Dariush.
No, hey, we're good. Sit down, breathe here. Relax for me. Relax for me. Hey, that's his round. Oh, of course. Hey, but what do? You get stronger, baby. You get stronger. We're all good. Hey, I need that double leg. I need him against the fence. I need you on top. All right.
Can you tell me you guys are in a clinch?
Right here, you see the elbows by Beneil Dariush that really hurt Evan Dunham. Just kind of framing him and throwing the elbow over the top. Then right here again, as Dunham's trying to work his way back to his feet, Dariush getting off damage. Now, controlling the feet, passing, and landing a beautiful left hand over the top. The toughness of Evan Dunham.
And there is Ashley Pacone, one of our great Octagon girls. She was at the Route 91 Harvest Country Music Festival last Sunday night. So absolutely great to see Ashley here and healthy, along with the rest of the crew. Please send Ashley your thoughts. Ariane, Chrissy, Brittany also with us here tonight for UFC 216. All right, round two here. Evan Dunham, Beneil Dariush. We'll see if Dunham can make the proper adjustments. Landed a big right hand.
Is throwing bombs.
He's throwing bombs. Every time they come into contact, he is throwing bombs.
Yeah, he has a real power style, and you know that's indicative of King's MMA and Rafael Cordeiro. He comes from that classic Brazilian shoot-to-box background, and he trains these guys to be killers. Nice knee to the body, but look, Evan Dunham's got the clinch.
That is just what his corner asked for. His corner asked for a double leg. We need you on top, and they got it from their fighter, Evan Dunham.
Beneil Dariush is trying to set up it looks like a shoulder lock. It looks like he's going for mission control on that side. He's got the arm trapped. He's going for an omoplata on the left arm, a shoulder lock on the left arm of Evan Dunham. Pay attention to the right foot of Beneil Dariush. What he's going to try to do is tuck that right foot under the chin of Evan Dunham. See, he was trying to push it forward, and he wants to get the instep under the chin of Evan Dunham. Wants to get it deeper in, wants to slide that knee up higher on the shoulder and suck it in deeper. Or if he can control that shoulder, he may try to attack that shoulder with a shoulder lock, which is what he's doing now. He's trying to roll towards that side, but his left leg is still trapped. His left leg is still trapped by Dunham.
So flexible.
Yeah, you have to be in this position for sure, but it doesn't look like Dunham's knee arm is in deep enough to me. It looks like he can pull that arm out. See how it's locked?
Can
See
he
it?
use this to get away? There you go. Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't in deep enough. You have to have real tight anaconda grip on that shoulder for this to pull off, and now Evan Dunham's got his back again. Now here's a question. Did Beneil Dariush burn himself out trying to stop Evan Dunham in that first round? Because, boy, he landed a lot of hard shots, and it's got to be a little discouraging when a zombie like Evan Dunham just survives and plods forward. And that is one of the hallmarks of Evan Dunham. That's one of the things that his main characteristics. He's so tough. And this is why. So he can do this. And the mental strength of Dunham is very, very important.
Yeah.
Because there's zero quit in that guy. Zero.
Well, to take a beating like he did in round 1 and come back and secure a takedown and now be controlling round 2 to this point says a lot about the toughness of Evan Dunham.
Yeah, and as we said before, Dunham is coming off of 3 very big wins in a row against real top-flight competition. And so he's coming into this fight with a lot of momentum and a lot of confidence.
No, this is huge for Evan Dunham, and also, too, trying to make up for lost time after missing portions of the last year due to injury and other extenuating circumstances in his life. Dariush.
Beautiful leg kick by Dariush. The way he landed that on the combination and just buckled the leg of Dunham.
These big actions, you know, the jumping knees, if you're already tired, you start doing that, and it just expends a lot more energy. Another big leg kick by Beneil.
And he's taking some deep breaths. You know, Chael Sonnen once famously said, if you try to win by knockout and you don't, you're not going to win by decision.
Yeah, because you use all that energy in the first round.
I mean, it's not an absolute thing. Dariush absolutely could win by decision, but it's indicative of how the management of your energy inside the octagon is so critical. And look at this, Dunham all over Dariush, and Dariush clearly showing signs of wear.
But he's still throwing. He's still throwing hard, too.
Yeah, he is.
Dunham wisely continues to circle away from that power left of Dariush. Double underhooks here for Benny.
We'll tell you what, for folks who didn't watch the FX fight, Lando Venata and Bobby Green set the bar so high for fight of the night that these guys got to really get after it.
Anyone has to, right?
Woo, what a fight that was.
That was crazy. Those guys laid it all out there.
Big deep breaths once again from Beneil Dariush, mouth open.
Yeah, big deep breaths.
30 seconds now to go, round 2.
Woo! Every time he throws that leg kick, it lands with so much force.
Yeah, I mean, he's such an explosive guy.
But I mean, look at Dunham in there with the dirty boxing, just really into him, controlling that underhook and just staying busy. May have won him this round.
Yeah, entirely possible.
Certainly a strong response from Evan Dunham after the way round 1 went. 10 minutes in the can.
Oh, he went to the wrong side. Beneil Dariush just went to the wrong side. Evan Dunham with the takedown here, and that's absolutely gigantic for him. Coming into this second round, having lost that first round and having been in deep, deep trouble. And you see him here attacking, gets a single, putting tremendous pressure on Beneil Dariush.
You're gonna do the thing. You're gonna make him move aside. You're gonna throw your right high kick. I saw you 2 or 3 times. You'll think about that. Let's land a little bit more low kicks because it's really good, but blind him first. Let's make it feel where he go low, high. I want to see right after your low, one right high. Okay, son? Coach.
How beautiful is that Brazilian accent?
It's like, Rafael Cordeiro. Hey, you look at Coach Cordero, you put your hand under your chin and you just stare at Coach Cordero.
Head out to your neighborhood 7-Eleven and pick up your UFC-branded Big Gulp for a chance to instantly win UFC merchandise, food, and beverage prizes, or even a new Harley-Davidson. DC, you love those big dogs.
I love them. I see a guy on there, the guy in the middle, the big boy, standing there looking intimidating.
All right, third and final round here between a couple of ranked lightweights. Beneil Dariush is in black, Evan Dunham in blue.
Dariush, oh, look at that. Evan Dunham with the high kick sliding away.
That's exactly what Coach Cordero was calling for from Beneil. He said, you're so successful with the low leg kick. Give him the low leg kick and follow right behind it with the right high kick. So he's looking for that combination from Beneil in this third round. Said he's seen him thinking about it a couple times, but not throwing it.
Dariush still throwing some heat.
And Dunham just hasn't landed all that often. 13 significant strikes landed. He actually came in having landed more strikes in the UFC than any lightweight in history.
Wow. Oh!
Nice counter right hand.
Beautiful. Beautiful left by Dunham.
Bring it down. It's picking up.
Well, if either of these guys are going to get into the title picture, this is one they got to have. There's just no margin for error at 155. 3.5 minutes now to go.
Dunham just kind of throws that big long jab out there, and it may not be the fastest jab. You know, we saw Brad Tavares fight behind a super fast jab earlier, but that one lands. But now a great combination by Dariush. His double leg shot, nice level change by Dunham, right back into the fence. Now again, controlling the underhook. He's doing a real good job with his left leg of trying to drive that knee in the middle. That's how you control somebody. Now Dariush is starting to try to use his right hand to circle and extend the shoulder of Evan Dunham. As he goes to the side, he'll actually get pressure on Evan Dunham's shoulder, which will allow him to actually escape out of that way. But you can't just hold it there. Dunham's winning the round here.
And staying busy enough in the clinch here to prevent an interruption from the referee. Dariush now fires back.
The real question is, what did they score the first round? I mean, Dariush had him in deep trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly under the new rules, that's a 10-8.
Right.
Is it a 10-8 under the old rules?
I mean, when you're getting almost finished, right, and then dominated, Dariush controlled 4 minutes and 30 seconds of that round.
Yeah.
That could be scored a 10-8 round.
Yeah, I believe it certainly should be. But I also believe that Nevada should adopt the new rules.
Everybody should, though, right?
Everybody should. Oh, nice leg kick by Dariush. Oh, pop that jab.
Has been beat up tonight. Less than 2 minutes now to go. Dunham not putting as much pressure on that lead leg, courtesy of Dariush's leg kicks. Good body work there from Evan Dunham. Nice counter left from Dariush after Dunham landed with a right. Oh, big shot from Dariush. Less than a minute now to go.
Dunham over the top. Well, these guys are drained. They're trying their best. Some big deep breaths from both fighters. Nice leg kick by Dariush, but Evan Dunham over the top. Putting that pressure on Dariush. Really coming on strong. Evan Dunham with the better gas tank here. And he feels it. Look at him. Come on. He's like, let's stand. Let's stand. Come on.
Evan Dunham trying to close the show here. Well, you gotta like the willingness to go for it from Evan Dunham here down the stretch. knee from Dariush.
Great fight.
Great 15 minutes turned in there by Evan Dunham and Beneil Dariush.
And what a comeback for Evan Dunham. Almost stopped in the first round to be the one pushing the pressure at the end of the third. Amazing.
He was in a lot of trouble early and really did bounce back in the second round and actually controlled the end of the third round too.
Let's get to the fight replay. It is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
Right here, you see early in the fight, Dariush hurt Dunham really bad with 2 left elbows. Knocked him down and controlled the rest of that round. And then the leg kicks of Beneil Dariush just tore the legs up of Evan Dunham. Right here you see Dunham switch to a body lock, lift him in the air. Dariush showed great balance, but eventually secured the takedown. And then right here, counter left hand by Dunham, and a jab follows. Dariush still right in his face. Then right here, again, leg kick. Dunham catches it, left hand answer. Unbelievable fight by Evan Dunham and Beneil Dariush. If the bar wasn't set so high earlier, John, I would say fight of the night, but my opinion has not changed.
And maybe Evan Dunham, I think, clearly buoyed by this Vegas crowd here tonight and everything that has transpired in the city.
He was Vegas strong.
No doubt. No doubt about it. The official decision is brought to you by Metro PCS, who brings you closer than ever to the UFC on a fast nationwide 4G LTE network. Here now, the venerable Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. Saul D'Amato scores the contest 29-28. Dariush. Dave Hagen scores it 28-28. And Glenn Trober scores the contest 28-28. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is a majority draw.
I'm going to interview both fighters here, and that was an outstanding fight. I'm going to start with you, Beneil. Beneil, you had Evan hurt badly in that first round, and you went all out to try to finish him. Were you surprised that he was able to endure?
He's tough. For sure I was surprised. But you know what, Joe, for 1 second, I don't want to talk about me. I don't want to talk about this fight. I want to talk about what happened Sunday. And I just want to say to the families, to the victims, that we love you, that we're with you, and I pray to God that he gives you comfort and peace in this time. In the name of Jesus Christ.
Thank you, Beneil. Now, back to the beginning moments of the fight, when you had Evan hurt, how much energy did you expend to try to finish him, and did you drain your gas tank? Did that affect you in the second and third?
I felt like I was okay after the first. It's just he came back and he came strong, and I was trying to find out his timing. He kept changing his timing with the steps, so that messed me up a little bit. But overall, I really didn't feel too bad. The third round I was a little bit tired, but it's just I just give credit to Evan. He's a very tough guy.
Thank you very much for an excellent fight. Beneil Dariush, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Evan Dunham. First of all, Evan, fantastic job overcoming the assault in the first round. I mean, you got hurt bad. Give us your thoughts on how badly you were hurt and what were you thinking at that moment?
I'm from Vegas, baby. We don't give up. We don't back down. We never give up. We fight our ass off no matter who you are. I don't care what the odds are. I'm coming back. Vegas don't quit. Vegas strong, baby.
Now, Evan, you've always been known as being a tough and durable guy, and you showed that. And you also showed your endurance, being able to come through from that first round and then push the pressure in the second and the third. Did you feel at the end of the fight that you had done enough to win the decision?
Yeah, I did. I thought I won the second and the third. I knew it was close. Beneil's a hell of a fighter. I picked him because I knew he was probably one of the best guys in the division, in my opinion. And I wanted to test myself, see where I'm at. And I was happy with my performance tonight. I thought I took it, but I know it was a really close fight. He beat me up in the first round. But like I said, man, I'm from Vegas. We don't ever give up.
Thank you very much for an excellent fight. Evan Dunham, ladies and gentlemen.
Couple classy gentlemen right there. Evan Dunham and Beneil Dariush fight to a majority draw here tonight. Well, he's as good a UFC fan as he is a comic. Hannibal Buress in the building with us here tonight. As is the lightweight contender Justin Gaethje, coaching on The Ultimate Fighter. He will soon have a date with Eddie Alvarez later in 2017. UFC 216, Ferguson versus Lee, is brought to you by Budweiser, this Bud's for you, and by Metro PCS, who brings you closer than ever to the UFC on a fast nationwide 4G LTE network.
The most iconic venue in all of combat sports.
The world's greatest arena.
Madison Square Garden.
I'm cranking up on the throttle, victory is mine.
Championship triple header.
Step back, I'm going in.
3 title fights at the mecca of combat sports.
This is how legends are made.
2 of the best strawweights in the world.
No one is taking this belt from me.
Both women are aggressive, relentless, and extremely unpredictable.
I want my belt. That's mine. I want it back.
TJ Dillashaw, come try me. Former teammates turned bitter rivals.
These guys do not like each other.
George St. Pierre is one of the best mixed martial artists of all time.
He will take on the winningest fighter in UFC history.
Michael Bisping.
Doesn't get any better than that. The biggest pay-per-view of 2017.
We're talking combat sports history.
This is how legends are made.
UFC 217, an embarrassment of riches. I mean, would you look at this lineup for the UFC's return to Madison Square Garden? One main event after the next, Bisping versus George St. Pierre and the headliner. How about the grudge match for the UFC Bantamweight title? Cody Garbrandt in his first title defense against the former champion TJ Dillashaw. And did you see the stare down between Joanna Jędrzejczyk and Thug Rose Namajunas yesterday? A lot of hype for that strawweight championship. A lot of people think Namajunas might present Jędrzejczyk with her toughest title defense to date. And if that's not good enough, how about Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and Jorge Gamebred Masvidal? Both guys wanted that fight. They will get it November 4th when we return to pay-per-view from the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. You can only see UFC 217, Bisping versus GSP on pay-per-view. But now the UFC's newest weight class set to be showcased here as Italy's Mara Borella and Brazil's Kalindra Faria square off in a flyweight matchup they hope will set the bar high. The women's flyweight class is the UFC's newest division. And while a champion won't be crowned until later this year, Mara Romero Borella and Kalindra Faria can make their first statements tonight when they square off here in Las Vegas.
Eu estou muito ansiosa para estrear no UFC e vou dar o meu melhor porque eu quero ser a campeã da categoria.
Questa è una categoria nuova in UFC e credo nessuno è sicura, dove mi sento forte, dove ho sempre combattuto in questa categoria.
A pro since 2009, Brazil's Kalindra Faria has faced off with the best over the course of her career, including Claudia Gadelha, Karolina Kowalkiewicz, and Jessica Aguilar. Now a streak in which she has won 14 of her last 16 has brought her to the UFC. And tonight's matchup with Mara Romero Borella.
Lutar com a Mara para mim vai ser extraordinário e o meu estilo de luta vai ser agressivo.
An MMA pioneer who tonight becomes the first Italian woman to fight in the UFC. Mara Romero Borella has stayed busy since her pro debut in 2014, competing in 16 total fights, all serving to put her on the world map. And after a July win over UFC vet Milana Dujeva, this Invicta FC veteran appears ready for life in the octagon.
Gli italiani sono combattenti, sono guerrieri. Combatterò questa notte con la bandiera italiana e dimostrerò che sono gli italiani.
So here is the Brazilian UFC newcomer, Kalindra Faria, turned pro back in 2009. She has fought as high as 135 pounds, as low as 115 pounds. So she, needless to say, is very happy the UFC has unveiled this flyweight division. And DC, a lot of experience against top competition. Fought Karolina Kowalkiewicz, that was February of 2015, her last loss. Very close fight, so expectations pretty lofty for Faria in advance of this UFC debut.
Yes, she has a lot of expectations from people around her, but it does not match what she expects out of herself. I was in the elevator with her yesterday and I said, are you ready for this? Are you excited? And she goes, I was made for this. I'm ready to go. She proceeded to say, you want a picture with me? I said, her sister, just beginning. I go, yes, I do want to take a photo. I ended up having to take a picture with her. I was like, do I need to ask for an autograph too? You know, we took a picture. This girl's confident. She's ready to fight. She's ready to go.
And she's got a lot of experience, 18-5-1 professional record. And although she's making her UFC debut, she's a Titan FC champion. She's got some real good experience. So you're talking about a real, well-rounded, professional mixed martial arts fighter who's just a real solid pro as she's making her octagon debut.
Good hands, kicks a lot, and really remarkable to your point about the experience. 24 pro fights to get to the big show. Of course, the UFC didn't introduce women until 2013. But this should be interesting to see how she handles the challenge of Mara Romero Borella here tonight. 2-1 in her series with Karina Dam. She's faced Claudia Gadelha, Karolina Kowalkiewicz, Jessica Aguilar. Nice mix of knockouts and submissions for the 31-year-old switch stance fighter, Kalindra Faria, touching down on that UFC canvas for the first time. And here's the fellow UFC newcomer, the Italian Mara Romero Borella, training out of American Top Team in Coconut Creek, Florida. Tonight she becomes the first Italian woman to compete inside the octagon.
And she's got a good kickboxing background, also very experienced at 11-4-1. And another woman who's got a real strong mixed martial arts base, making her octagon debut. She's got 3 wins by KO, 4 by submission, very well-rounded. And, you know, we're seeing the expanse of the women's divisions. Now flyweight, we have strawweight, we have bantamweight, we have featherweight. It's beautiful to see. It's beautiful to see that this, you know, at one point in time, we didn't have anything.
Right.
And now we're seeing this beautiful expansion of MMA across the board in all weight classes.
And she trains in Coconut Creek at American Top Team, so she obviously gets to see the great fighters like champion Joanna Jędrzejczyk on a daily basis, champion Amanda Nunes on a daily basis. So she is seeing high-level mixed martial arts day in and day out, not only from her fellow female competitors, but also champions like Tyron Woodley, who trains in there. So you have the baseline, the basis for what it takes to become a champion right in your face daily. And she's taking that and says, you know what, I can be a champion in this weight division. I'm excited. It's a huge opportunity, but opportunity has to be cashed in.
And you see UFC fighter Jessica Aguilar in her corner, as is her jiu-jitsu coach, the great Pahumpa Marcos D'Amata. Can do a lot worse than Coconut Creek, Florida, especially when you're a developing fighter like Mara Romero Borella.
I mean, it might be the best camp in the world. What a tremendous job they put together. Excuse me, sorry.
You can't say stuff like that when I'm sitting here, Joe. I mean,
I'm not saying he's got the best fighters ever. I'm just saying it's wide-ranging, fantastic camp.
At least they don't over-spar like those AKA guys.
Oh, what did he just say?
All right, we got to tail the tape, boys.
This.
Mara Romero Borella, 31 years old, as is Kalindra Faria. Faria 1 inch taller, but a whopping 6-inch reach advantage for the Italian Borella. All right, now for the introductions, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC flyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a Muay Thai kickboxer, holding a professional record, 18 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw. She stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 126 pounds. Fighting out of Tomates, Sao Paulo, Brazil, Kalindra Faria. And now introducing her opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 11 wins, 4 losses, 1 no contest. She stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 125 pounds. Fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, by way of Ponte dell'Olio, Italy, Mara Romero Borella! When the action begins, our referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
Jason Herzog acknowledging the Vegas Strong on his right sleeve, as is Brooklyn. Thank you, Brooklyn. UFCstore.com if you want to purchase a t-shirt.
First round, fighter, you ready?
all of the proceeds to benefit the families of the victims and anyone affected by the senseless tragedy last Sunday. Here we go, round one. Two UFC newcomers here. Barella in black, Faria in yellow.
Hey, John, great timing on that little comment you made going into the tail of the tape. I didn't forget. For that, you get 3 minutes sparring session with Luke Rockhold.
Oh.
There you go. That's your gift, being a smart.
Try to take him down.
All right, top position here for Mara Romero. She got the takedown. Strong head and arm position here.
And taking her time.
And although she is in the top position in half guard, you see Kalinja trying to get out of that there.
Trying to recover full guard there.
Mara stepping over with that right leg, about to slide that left leg through. Good pressure here.
Right in
there he
mount.
goes. Right as we were saying, she slid that leg through, got full mount here. Just tremendous strength and pressure on the top here for Mara Romero Barella. And Mara, look
nice
good,
job
yeah,
pulling
good
her back
job.
to the center of the octagon,
Yeah,
trying to get her away from the fence.
Excellent awareness there.
As Faria was trying to use her feet to wall walk, she just actually drove her right off the octagon to get her away from the octagon that she would try to use to get back up.
Yeah, great positional awareness from Mara, because she was not even looking at that, but knew exactly what Ferrer was doing.
And she's keeping all of her body weight on Faria here. Just over 3 minutes to go in the round. This is a good start for her, exactly strategically what she was looking to do.
Yeah, Faria, in this position here, she's got to put her hands in the hips and hip escape. She hasn't been hit with any gun. Right when I said that, she got nailed.
You're doing it again, Joe. It's happening again.
Well, before those shots come raining down, you got to hip escape. You got to put hands on the hips. You got to buck and move, and you can't let her plant.
Look at her controlling her wrists on the opposite side so that she cannot protect that side of her body, and not with her knee.
And she's also probably looking for an Americana on that side as well. I mean, look at the tremendous pressure, and then she moves into back mount.
She's doing a really good job of just following.
Yeah, beautiful.
Fantastic job of following.
Yeah, and it's all because of that pressure and that situational awareness. Every time they move, she's constantly aware of the position. And look at this.
Attacking the neck now.
Trying to get an arm under the neck. She's got it across the face. That might be enough. She's so strong early in this round. She's pulling on her own gloves, but which, by the way,
it's starting
is
to slide
legal.
under now. Now it's
There
starting
it
to
is.
slide under. Yep.
It's under. That's a wrap. That's a wrap, folks.
It's over.
Gable grip. Here comes the tap. That's it.
And there's the tap from Faria. So Mara Romero Barella wins her UFC debut in dramatic fashion. She was the underdog coming in tonight.
Fierce.
Dominant.
That's some scary screaming, too. That's real, man. That was a beautiful jiu-jitsu. Beautiful positioning, strength. The way she just stayed on top of her and just smushed her.
Just like her coach, Bahumpa drew it up, and once it's official, it will be her 5th first-round finish as a mixed martial arts athlete. This fight replay brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
And this is just beautiful takedown here, and then classic jiu-jitsu. Mara Romero Barella gets the takedown initially in half guard, manages to slide over from half guard, moves into mount now, and then smoothly transitions from mount to the back mount, never stopping that pressure. Drops some good shots on her, eventually slides that forearm under the neck, and with tremendous strength and leverage, sinks in that choke and gets the tap. Absolutely beautiful performance by Mara Romero Barella.
And her jiu-jitsu coach, Bahumpa, just came over and said, I'm telling you, she's an animal. That was textbook jiu-jitsu. Needless to say, they are happy with the result here tonight as Mara Romero Barella gets it done in a big way here in her UFC debut. The official decision is brought to you by Metro PCS, who brings you closer than ever to the UFC on a fast nationwide 4G LTE network. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jason Herzog has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 54 seconds of the very first round. Declaring the winner by submission due to a rear naked choke, Mara Romero Barella!
Mara Romero Barella. Borella, congratulations on a fantastic UFC debut and a beautiful display of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Felicitação pelo bonito display de Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, uma apresentação espetacular, parabéns.
Sono felice, è il mio giorno, è la mia notte, l'ho sempre sognato, sono qui e ho vinto! Sì!
It's a dream for me. I'm here to stay. I'm very, very happy.
Mara, take us through the finish, because once you got her to the ground, you had tremendous pressure on her. You maintained position no matter what she did, and eventually got the rear naked choke.
Mira lá a televisão, quando você botou ela para baixo, foram uma posição acima da outra e não deu chance para ela fazer nada.
Sì, abbiamo lavorato, anche se in una settimana abbiamo lavorato per questo match. Ho avuto il preavviso di così poco tempo e abbiamo studiato. E questo, quando ero a terra, era calma, provare a stabilizzare, finalizzare.
It was a hard camp. It was just 10 days notice, but we studied her a lot, and we knew that once we got her down, it's going to be the matter of time. Just take her time, breathe, and we're going to get the submission.
Congratulations on a spectacular debut. Mara Romero Borella, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, later this year, we will crown the first UFC Women's Flyweight Champion, but certainly a nice start to the UFC career for Mara Romero Borella. Tonight's champions in the crowd, brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. There's the UFC Bantamweight champion, Cody Garbrandt, with his wife, who is expecting. Nice to have No Love in the building tonight. Well, the victims of the recent mass shooting have been memorialized across town. A man from Illinois actually traveled across the country to set up 58 crosses representing the 58 lives lost near the iconic Welcome to Las Vegas sign.
I am the greatest fighter on planet Earth. Everyone will see soon enough. I feel like I'm evolving every day, every minute. I'm just going to carry it on until I reach the pinnacle.
Darren Till is no joke. He's dangerous, he's young, he's undefeated.
I am great. I know I'm great. I don't care if I'm the underdog or people are saying I'm the best. I just go in there and I say I'm the greatest and I believe I'm the greatest.
Oh! Beautiful work from Darren Till. He knows the finish is there.
I am the best striker in the welterweight division. In fact, in the whole of the UFC.
If you say I can't do something, I will go and do it. Say I can't beat Cowboy and you're going to see Fight Night.
This is literally going to be my 34th UFC fight. I've seen it all, man. I've been there. I've done it. I've seen the toughest of the tough. For some kid just think he's going to come in and just steamroll me, please.
Oh, Donald Cerrone does it again!
You're going to have to come tread water with me, man. Be in the deep water, because that's where I'm going to take you. Second round, third round, can you keep the pace?
Goodness!
I'm going to hit him so hard with that first punch that he's going to know this was a bad fight to take.
Oh, there it is again, the left hand.
He's young. He's never been there. He doesn't have that been drug into the pits of hell mentality. He'll start making mistakes, and I'll just capitalize, and he'll look for a way out, and then I'll give him one.
Donald's got it, looking to finish it right here. He's got it.
Cowboy just doesn't know. He really does not know the type of person he's fighting. When I knock his face off clean, he will know who Darren Till is. I'm going to make him retire.
You want to come at me with crazy talk and talk I have more Fight of the Night performance bonuses than you have fights.
I am literally just going in there to smash Cowboy Cerrone. That is my only goal.
It's going to be a long, long night for you. And I'm going to push, and I'm going to grind, and I'm going to f*** you up non-stop for 5 rounds.
That is a great main event, and what an opportunity for young Darren Till. You can see it live on UFC Fight Pass October 21. Here's the main card for UFC Fight Night, Cowboy versus Till.
It's a phenomenal fight. A lot of people do not know who Darren Till is. They will know after he fights Donald Cerrone. Win, lose, or draw. This kid is for real. He is very, very dangerous, and it's not getting the hype that it deserves.
Right. And a big one at strawweight in the co-main event, Karolina Kowalkiewicz against the Jackson Wink MMA staple, Jody Escobar. Big light heavyweight clash between Jan Blachowicz and Devin Clark, trying to gain some traction. So that is our next live event, 2 weeks from tonight, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 in the West. You can only see it live and exclusively on UFC Fight Pass. All right, so an interesting backdrop to this heavyweight fight coming up as we show you the heavyweight rankings at present. Fabricio Werdum comes in number 2 in the world, but instead of taking on the Black Beast Derek Lewis, who is the 6th-ranked heavyweight, he draws the shortest of notices replacement, Walt Harris, tonight, DC.
Yeah, man, and Werdum wanted to fight. He said he's had a phenomenal training camp. He wants to have a great performance to try to put himself back in the title contention. And Walt Harris gets the golden ticket, the opportunity of a lifetime, a fight that will take a long time to build to. He gets it on the same day that it happens.
I think it's an amazing opportunity for Walt Harris. It's a very risky fight for Fabricio Werdum, but a great fight for us. We thought Fabricio wasn't going to get to fight. We're going to get to see him fight a very quality opponent. And again, as you said, for Walt Harris, what an opportunity.
So Walt Harris showed up at the arena several hours ago. He went through his warm-up. He gets Werdum tonight. Fabricio Werdum still believes he can make a run at the UFC title he once had. So he gets a day of replacement in Walt the Big Ticket Harris, who is about to make the walk. So we were here earlier today, DC, going through the motions, rehearsing. Walt Harris did his warm-up. He was to fight Mark the Hand of God Beer on UFC Fight Pass tonight, but Derek Lewis was injured, unable to go. What an opportunity for the big ticket against the former champ Werdum.
How about the UFC production team getting everything ready on short notice? And look at that. It seems as though these boys were supposed to fight the whole time. Walt Harris is a knockout artist. I was in the bathroom earlier, and he came out and he goes, "Have you heard all the craziness?" He goes, "I'm fighting Werdum now." I said, "Walt, earlier when I heard that there was an opportunity, I figured you should do it, because it would take so long for Walt Harris to build the momentum to get a fight against a guy like Fabricio Werdum. I don't know if he could have done it, but now he gets this opportunity on 5 hours notice, and he's confident. He's confident. He goes into this fight with nothing to lose. A big, strong athlete that finishes fights fast. Werdum better be ready right when they say go.
But we really have to emphasize that this is a gigantic step up in competition.
There is no word for how big a step up in competition is this. Gigantic doesn't do it justice.
You literally can't walk up that hill.
No.
It's too steep. Yeah. I mean, he's stepping into arguably, if not the greatest, the second greatest UFC heavyweight of all time. I mean, he's 1 or 2, number 1 or 2, or maybe 3, depending on how well Steve Bay does in his career. But I mean, top of the food chain. Let's just say top of the food chain. So Walt Harris has a chance to fight, without a doubt, the greatest submission artist in the history of the heavyweight division. A guy who has submitted everybody. Fedor, Minotauro, and Cain Velasquez. Crazy. That man right there.
Yeah, this man, Fabricio Werdum, 30th pro MMA fight here tonight, and he says, "I know I'm 40, but my mind is young." And credit Werdum as well for taking this challenge here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a big risk for Fabricio Werdum. He's supposed to be fighting Derek Lewis. He finds out earlier today that Lewis is having back spasms and can't get out of bed. But Fabricio Werdum is a warrior. He is a multiple-time world champion in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a former UFC champion, and as I said, easily one of the best submission fighters to ever do it.
Joe, those names you listed off that Werdum has beaten,
submitted.
It's unbelievable. He submitted these guys, also submitted Overeem.
Yes.
He's like submitted and beat some of the best heavyweights that we have ever seen step foot in the octagon. And he's done it when people thought he was just a ground guy. He went out and outstruck guys and then secured submissions. As his game has evolved, it led him to becoming a UFC champion. When Strikeforce was purchased, there were certain guys that you can say, maybe one day for him, maybe one day for him. You weren't saying that about Werdum. And he came here and he became the UFC heavyweight champion and one of the best fighters this division's ever seen. So this is a big step up for Walt Harris, man. This is a big ask. I like Walt, but this is a big ask on this short notice.
Well, I will tell you, in terms of the betting odds, if you care, Werdum was a -270 favorite against Derek Lewis. Same price for this fight now against the short notice replacement, Walt Harris. So here's your tail of the tape. Fabricio Werdum, 40 years old as of July. Walt Harris is 34. Harris 1 inch taller. Werdum weighed in 247 pounds. He was in the 230s for that Velasquez fight. 251 pounds for Walt Harris, both men with a reach of 77 inches. All right, now for the official introductions. Back inside the octagon to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a freestyle fighter holding a professional record, 10 wins, 5 losses. He stands 6 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in at 251 pounds. Fighting out of Birmingham, Alabama, Walt the Big Ticket And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 21 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 247 pounds. Fighting out of Los Angeles, California, by way of Porto Alegre, Brazil, presenting the former UFC heavyweight champion and the #2 ranked heavyweight contender in the world, Fabricio Werdum! And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Herb Dean.
Herb Dean, our referee for this one. Ariane Celeste getting us going for round 1 here of a possible 3 in the UFC's heavyweight division.
Ready, do it.
Head out to your neighborhood 7-Eleven and pick up your UFC branded Big Gulp for a chance to instantly win UFC merchandise, food and beverage prizes, or even a new Harley Davidson. So Werdum is in black, Walt Harris is in the gray. DC, I know you've dealt with a lot of last-minute replacements and weird circumstances in your own career, but Walt Harris was supposed to fight a striker tonight, and he is now fighting maybe the greatest Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu heavyweight of all time.
Who's also an excellent striker.
Yeah, he's well-rounded. Oh, but then look at him, he attacks a single. But we haven't seen that much from Werdum in terms of his wrestling. The fight with Overeem last time was all striking.
This is not good
This
for
is
Walt
not
Harris.
good for Walt Harris. Early, especially when they're not wet.
Yes.
There's no slipping. This is where Werdum wants to be right away early in this fight.
And Verdum's not tired. No one's, beautiful
right
mount.
to the mount.
Look
Wow.
how he's great finding the legs. Tremendous pressure from Fabricio Werdum. Walt Harris is in a lot of trouble here. But look at this.
He gives his back.
Scrambles.
And Verdum's one of the only heavyweights that can ride you like that. Look,
There's the tap. So Fabricio Werdum, about a minute in, is able to submit Walt Harris, who is obviously disappointed here tonight.
The smoothness in the transition from the mount to the back to the armbar is what we're talking about when we discuss this guy as being the greatest submission artist in the history of the heavyweight division. I mean, who else can do that in this division?
Yeah.
I mean, he's just fantastic.
It looked like he was going to chase the neck and then went right to the armbar. It was crazy.
I mean, that's just what Fabricio can do. His game is so evolved. It's so well-rounded.
All right, let's take a look back at the finish. This fight replay brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
You see Werdum attack the single leg. Walt Harris tried to keep the leg outside. But watch, as soon as that leg comes inside, there it is. It's stuck in the middle. Now you don't have that post. You don't have that lever to balance on. And right here, Werdum allows Harris a little bit of space. Don't think Walt pushed him off. He allowed him a little bit of space to take his back. Walt Harris thinks, back choke. Werdum, I'm working, bud. Well, I'm working. Walt Harris thinks rear naked choke. Werdum goes armbar. Match over in the first minute. Look, man, there are levels to this game, right? There are levels to the game. And tonight you saw Werdum shoulder level.
You saw Mount Everest. That's what you saw.
Right.
You saw the top level. That's the video game guy that you don't want to fight.
That's Ball Bull on Mike Tyson's Punch-Out or Soda Popinski.
That
You
said,
can't beat him.
this is not going to be held against Walt the Big Ticket Harris.
Because he did. He stepped up, right, John?
And he came in with some appreciable momentum in this heavyweight division. So bigger fights ahead for Walt Harris and Werdum. The official decision brought to you by Metro PCS, who brings you closer than ever to the UFC on a fast nationwide 4G LTE network. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 5 seconds of the very first round. Declaring the winner by submission due to an armbar, Fabricio Vagabondo Verdum.
I'm here with the winner, Fabricio Verdum. First of all, Fabricio, thank you for accepting this fight on such short notice after Derek Lewis was injured. A phenomenal display of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tonight. Give us your thoughts on the fight and how you feel it went.
Yeah, for sure, I'm very happy, man. 3 hours before they changed my opponent, but I got you because this is my life. I love this, you know. I just got because I want to show for everybody I'm the best in the world.
Well, you are widely recognized as the greatest submission artist in the history of the division. If you take a look at the big screen, we will show why. This is world championship level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, ladies and gentlemen. As soon as you got him down, you just applied tremendous pressure. You got the back, and as he was defending, you switched this perfect armbar here.
Yes, because I train every time this with Cobrinha, my team. I train this a lot, and a very automatic, I got the submission, man.
Now, you had a very close decision loss to Alistair Overeem in your last fight. Very, very close fight. Now, give us your thoughts on the rest of the heavyweight division and where you fit in there.
Yeah, about the Overeem fight, this is past. Now I wanna, Steve Miocic, come here, I'm here. I want you, man, again. I want my back, you know? I want my back. 100% I got it.
Congratulations on a spectacular performance. Fabricio Verdum, ladies and gentlemen.
Ahmad Silla, hey!
Fabricio Verdum with a fantastic performance, taking Walt Harris out in the very first round. You cannot grapple with a guy like Verdum that early. You've got to pick your poison. Walt didn't have a chance to pick it. Verdum with the submission. The only way to win tonight.
Well, these men and women cannot be commended enough for their efforts last weekend. They represent an amazing group of first responders that saved countless lives during this horrific event. We are honored to have some of these heroes here tonight alongside their friends and family, and we kindly ask those in attendance to please stand and be recognized for their brave and selfless acts. All right, coming up next, Demetrius Johnson vies for history. He just might be the best mixed martial arts athlete you have ever seen, and he can become the most decorated UFC champion of all time with an 11th successful defense tonight. But looking to mute all of that noise and then some is the upstart Ray Borg, a hungry 24-year-old with equal parts skill and will, and one who can shake up the sport with an upset win tonight. And next month, star power, former UFC welterweight champion George St. Pierre is back. It is as anticipated a UFC return as there has ever been. Saturday, the 4th of November, MSG NYC.
I've been gone for more than 3 years, and I miss the feeling of victory.
George St. Pierre is a guy who's fought all the best in the world. He fought all the greats.
The greatest of all time at 170 pounds.
The reason why I come back is I don't want at 50 years old wondering how good I would have been if I would have come back in my prime. The fans will see the best George St. Pierre ever taking on the middleweight champion, Michael Bisping.
Michael Bisping isn't talked about in the big conversations of the greatest of all time. But what's crazy is Bisping is the winningest fighter in UFC history. I think this fight means everything to him for his legacy and to prove to the world that he's that good.
The 3 years he's been away, I've been fighting the best guys in the world. I defeated Anderson Silva.
Oh! Anderson goes down!
I defeated Dan Henderson.
Oh, he's rocked!
Of course, I knocked out Luke Rockhold. He was pound for pound one of the best in the world at the time.
Michael Bisping is the new UFC middleweight champion of the world!
Yeah, if I had George St. Pierre to the name of victories I've already got, then that would be one of the greatest careers in UFC history.
I'm not gonna be the old GSP. I believe right now I reached the perfect peak of athleticism, knowledge, and wisdom as a fighter, and I'm gonna prove it to everyone.
He's not a fighter like I am. There's a reason why he stepped away from the sport. He didn't have the heart for this sport anymore. Well, I've got the heart. And if George thinks he's going to come out of retirement and take my belt away from me, a guy coming from another weight class, you're out of your goddamn mind. There's only going to be one winner, and that's going to be me.
I know what I'm up against. He's bigger than me, but I think I got all the tools to beat him. I think I'm a better fighter, and I'm gonna come back to shock the world.
The world-famous Octagon returns to the world's most famous arena with a loaded card November 4th. George St. Pierre returns against middleweight champ Michael Bisping. Plus Cody Garbrandt and TJ Dillashaw settle their rivalry for the UFC Bantamweight title. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Well, Joe Rogan, among the constants in an ever-changing MMA landscape, they're all still chasing DJ at 125 pounds.
You got to chase the champ, and he is the champ. He's not just the champ, he's the best champ ever, the only champ at flyweight, and what a spectacular example of a mixed martial artist he is, and a champion. When you look at this division, he's beaten Joseph Benavidez, he's beaten Henry Cejudo. Those are the big challenges. Sergio Pettis is on the rise, of course, but Ray Borg is a guy that presents a lot of very unique challenges. He's very fast. He has a wrestling background. He's excellent at submissions, very good at strikes, and he's got a dynamic scrambling ability. Yeah. The times that we've seen Demetrius in trouble, we've seen him on top, with people on top of him, controlling him. If Ray Borg can get into that position, I think this fight can be very interesting.
All right, so Ray Borg with an opportunity of a lifetime coming up against Demetrius Johnson, ubiquitously regarded as one of the greatest to ever do it. The UFC flyweight champion tonight, chasing the ultimate record, an 11th straight defense of his title. Ray Borg is the man in his way.
It's easy to win the belt, but how many times can you defend it?
He's the best. I'm telling you, that kid is the best.
You have the target on your back. I've always got to go out there, put on a better performance, make yourself a better version of yourself.
Great Muay Thai by the champ. That's it.
I think a true champion needs to go out there and keep on winning his fights, defending his title, keep it defending, and also evolve.
DJ working on an armbar here. There's the tap. The winning streak is now 12 for Demetrius Johnson.
If I am able to go out there and win this fight, I'll be the longest reigning UFC champion ever in history.
DJ's been the man of the flyweight for a very long time. Every fight he had, I was more and more determined to beat him. It's always been about beating DJ. He's never faced anybody as young and hungry as I am. I ain't got a damn thing to lose, and it's gonna make for a dangerous fight.
Oh, there's the tap, Ray Borg!
DJ, I'm coming! And I really think it's my era, and I really think it's time for me to step in there with DJ and mix it up with him and beat him. I'm not in there to be his stepping stone. I'm not in there to be his 11th trophy win.
You're gonna see Demetrius Johnson, the only UFC flyweight champion out there, go out there and cement his legacy as the longest reigning UFC flyweight champion in the world.
One title defense away from UFC immortality! So here's the man looking to shock the world tonight, the Taz Mexican Devil, Ray Borg. Now this fight was to happen 4 weeks ago in Edmonton at UFC 215. Borg was virally ill during fight week, so here we are 4 weeks later, it shall be done.
But one of the big criticisms about Borg has been his inability to make weight easy this week. That's a huge sign. That's a sign that he's very well prepared. Very physically strong, very fast, very skilled, but taking a big step up in competition tonight.
Tonight's Prep Point is brought to you by 7-Eleven. Head out to your neighborhood 7-Eleven and pick up your UFC-branded Big Gulp for a chance to instantly win UFC merchandise, food and beverage prizes, or even a new Harley-Davidson.
The 2 times that we've seen Mighty Mouse in trouble inside the octagon have been against Tim Elliott and against Ian McCall, the guys who've been able to get him down, hold him onto the ground, and then use grappling and pressure. If Ray Borg can get the fight to that position, it could get interesting. The real question is, and we won't really know until he's in there with Mighty Mouse, does he have the speed, the footwork, and the overall understanding of technique to be able to stand with Mighty Mouse? Those are big questions, and you really don't get those answers until you see him inside the octagon. Right. There's a lot of people that thought Wilson Hayes had an opportunity on the feet against Mighty Mouse, and Mighty Mouse was a will-o'-the-wisp against him. I mean, he was just a ghost. A ghost that knocks you unconscious and then submits you. I mean, it's a spectacular performance by the champ. And the thing that I think about Mighty Mouse that Ray Borg has to take into consideration is I think he's getting better. I don't just think he's the best of all time. I think he continues to improve.
My question for Ray Borg is, you have the confidence walking in here. You believe, you prepared. But if things start to go south a little bit, as they did with Wilson Hayes, how do you respond? When you're fighting the greatest of all time and it starts to go south. We saw it snowball on Wilson Hayes and he ended up getting finished. How does he respond if anything starts to go in the opposite direction? We'll find this out because DJ will always give you problems over the course of a 5-round fight.
One of the things that separates Ray Borg from Wilson Hayes, though, is the ability to close distance. Wilson Hayes, although he's an excellent fighter, fights in short movements, whereas Ray Borg covers big gaps very quickly. That could present more problems.
So here he is, the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC flyweight champion of the world, Demetrious Johnson. This is a championship reign that has lasted 842 days. He has talked a lot about this record. He believes he is the greatest of all time, as humbly as he can say that. This is the record that he believes will prove to the masses that he is the greatest champion we've ever had.
A big part of the equation is that man right there, Matt Hume. Matt Hume, who is his longtime trainer, was a real pioneer in the early days of MMA. Back when they used to call it no holds barred. Matt Hume has an incredible wealth of knowledge, and that is his star pupil right there. Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson and Matt Hume, that's alchemy. They got together, they made magic. And that man right there, standing on the 7-Eleven Prep Point, is the greatest of all time, in my opinion. I don't think there's ever been a better representative of MMA, a better representation of, there's just a full range of mixed martial arts techniques.
For as good as he is as a fighter, he's also that type of person outside of the octagon. Father, professional, champion. He carries himself in the way that you would expect your champion to carry yourself. You have the ability, Demetrious Johnson, but how do you get up for every single fight, every challenge? How do you extend the training camp for 4 weeks? Mighty Mouse believes in Matt Hume. He believes that they've got it right. He said, I peaked for September 15th. I went home and rested. then I peaked again, and tonight I'm going to be better. It'll be worse for Ray Borg because I had more time to prepare for him.
Yeah, that was the big challenge for DJ and for Ray Borg to get right back into training camp after a hard 8 weeks of training. All right, we are just about ready for this co-headliner for the UFC Flyweight Championship of the World. Demetrious Johnson is 31 years old. Ray Borg, the youngest fighter on the card tonight at 24. Borg is 1 inch taller. You see Borg coming in at 124 pounds, one below the championship limit. DJ has a reach advantage of 3 inches. And now to get you the introductions for the co-main event, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC Flyweight Championship of the World. Our 3 judges scoring this contest in octagon side are Sal Amato, Dave Hagen, and Jeff Mullen. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon, Dan Bergliata. And now, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 11 wins, 2 losses. He stands 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 124 pounds. Fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, presenting the number 3 ranked flyweight contender in the world, the challenger, Ray, the Taz Mexican Devil Borg. And now introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner, a pancration fighter, holding a professional record, 26 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. He stands 5 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 125 pounds. Fighting out of Parkland, Washington, presenting the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world, and the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC Flyweight Champion of the world, Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson!
All right, gentlemen, read the rules in the locker room. I want you to obey my commands at all times. I want you to protect yourselves at all times. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Best of luck to both of you.
Here we go, Demetrious Johnson, Ray Borg, 1 title defense away from UFC immortality for Mighty Mouse. Ray Borg looking to come in here tonight and shake up the MMA world really forever. He is a plus 700 underdog here tonight.
Okay, sir, you ready? You ready, sir? Let's go, fight.
Head out to your neighborhood 7-Eleven and pick up your UFC branded Big Gulp for a chance to instantly win UFC merchandise, food and beverage prizes, or even a new Harley Davidson. Ray Borg has been with Jackson Wink MMA for almost 2 years now, and his striking coach Brandon Gibson believes we have the skill, the technique, and the athlete to beat Demetrious Johnson. We will find out in short order.
DJ immediately targeting that inside leg kick many times already.
He's already gotten 4 of them off to start the fight. Big inside leg kicks.
Check that one.
Neither man has ever been finished. 40 plus pro fights between them.
Borg has got to do something to get Demetrious respect. He can't let DJ just time him and pot shot him like this. Got to put some pressure on him.
Johnson seamlessly switching stances here 1 minute in.
Even as Borg has him fighting going backwards, DJ does a phenomenal job of just kind of picking you apart. You can tell right now they've worked on it. It's the inside leg kick. That's the key for tonight. But look at Ray Borg doing a big right uppercut.
Big speed and big power from Borg. Good kick to the body by DJ.
So leg, 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 then right to the body. And 1 high so far for Johnson.
And again, look at this. And he gets his back. And Borg just sitting down here, holding on to the left arm of DJ, trying to prevent that choke and looking for an opportunity to stand up. A beautiful spin there by Borg.
Back to his feet by Ray Borg.
Left hand from Borg looked like DJ.
Again, that body kick is going to really take effect on him. And it won't take very long.
Beautiful defense by Mighty Mouse.
Borg down on a low ankle shot. In wrestling, you get to this position, you're great, but there's no wrestling shoe in MMA, so if DJ just spins out, he'll be able to get away from Ray Borg. All he needs to do is spin to his right, and he will get out from Ray Borg.
Borg's still holding on to that leg, though, and that's a good sign for him, that he's been able to control him up until now.
I think when you're fighting Mighty Mouse, you just got to be, oh, there it is. Yeah, spin to the right, evades, and now he takes his back. I think when you're fighting DJ, you have to be a wild man, just like Tim Elliott.
Yep.
You got to just let everything fly, and just hope to catch him in something, because he's already having a really good performance very early in this fight. And like I said, Borg has to be able to respond to this when things start to go a little in the opposite direction as a guy that's in this position for the first time.
Yeah, it's can he keep the pace? Can he keep the rhythm?
Just over 2 minutes here to go in round one. Total strikes, nothing doing for Ray Borg thus far.
23-0, wow.
And this is really the first time that Ray Borg has been in there with somebody that at least has been a better scrambler than he has been, right? Normally in transitions on the ground, nobody can touch him.
Better scrambler, faster, and just has more answers.
DJ working the ground and pound here.
Nice pass.
He just does everything the right way.
And effortless, because he doesn't try to use power and energy. He does everything with technique. Everything's technical. He's not trying to use strength to pass the legs. He let Ray Borg try to push off his hips, and he just took the momentum and let him move to the next position.
And he just cracked him with a nice elbow there.
And it's all just so efficient.
6 finishes.
He's looking for a head and arm choke here. He's looking for a head and arm choke. He's going to try to trap the left arm of Borg. And Borg gets it back. Now he's going to an Americana. He's going to go back and forth to those two until one of them presents itself. But he's, yep, see, there he goes again. Now he might switch it to a Kimura. But he's attacking the arm in several different ways, and as Borg defends, he goes to the other one. See, he's going to the head and arm choke again, over and over again. He's going to try to step over that right leg, or the left leg, excuse me. If he can step over that left leg, he's going to allow Borg to see if he can get the guillotine. See, Borg's going to try to get the guillotine, and he's going to step over it and now go for the Von Flue choke. Now, back again to the Kimura. This could be it, folks. Borg trying to get that left leg in play to defend himself, but he's in a bad spot right now. Real bad spot.
20 seconds to go around, Joe.
Well, he's better off now. Nice little scramble, but look at that. Woo! Right on top. But no, Borg doing all right here. Butterfly guard. Borg defended himself, and that's critical. He got into bad spots, and look at this. Borg attacking with a Kimura of his own on the left arm.
Borg's jiu-jitsu coach, Rafael Barata Freitas, got to be happy with that. Let's go into the red corner. Matt Hume, Brad Kirsten with Demetrious Johnson.
Breathe and relax, breathe and relax. Breathe and relax. Breathe and relax. Okay. On the feet?
Yep.
You just got to keep your distance. You're doing exactly everything you want to do. Your kicks are going to set up those punches. Okay? So just exactly what you're doing. Pop him. When he's slow on his feet, come down the middle.
They're hunting your inside feet.
Yeah.
Your body.
Yep.
And
let's go, boys. Let's go. Shoulder up the mat.
Well, immediately following our main event tonight, don't miss a recap of all of tonight's action. The UFC 216 post-fight show on FS2 tonight. Karen Bryant, Ken Flo, T. Wood, Paul Felder, Megan O'Leary. It's on FS2 right after our main event. You can also see it streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Round 2, let's go, gentlemen. Fight.
Our round 2 here, Demetrious Johnson. Wearing the black and gold befitting a champion. Ray Borg is in blue. Six finishes in 10 defenses to this point for Demetrious Johnson. Pressured here by Borg.
Good job by Borg.
Yeah, smart adjustment. Yep.
Yeah.
Showed him the jumping knee, went right to a double leg, just to close space and slow DJ down. He does not want him out in front of him moving, and like Joe said, pot shotting him, picking him apart. Great adjustment by Ray Borg.
Yeah, I think you were talking about this earlier, DC, that he's got to make this a fight, a dog fight. And I think you're absolutely right. I don't think he can technique for technique with DJ. But if he can get it ugly and turn it into a brawl, he can have some success. Another thing that you were pointing out is that when the two of them are standing next to each other, Ray Borg is the bigger man.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons why he's been having a hard time making that 125-pound limit. He's looking for the guillotine here. Borg looking to connect his hands together here. And DJ's got to be careful here.
Yep, as soon as it starts to get tight, DJ will attack his hands. There you go. You see, it started to become a threat. You attack the hands. Nice job by Borg. Changing the position. Nice level change by Borg.
Level change. Borg gets the takedown. Look at this.
Now he needs to secure this position. He needs to try to circle to his right to get DJ's back off the side of the octagon. He's got to get him out in space because DJ's going to just use the fence to get back up every time.
Nice short elbow there for DJ as well. But look at this. Borg's behind him.
We gotta think Johnson
Look at that.
a lot of this.
You watch DJ stay so comfortable in these positions. Even in a Tim Elliott fight when he was caught deep in that submission, he never panicked. Even there, when the guy took his back, he shook his head at Matt Hume and said, okay. And then he dumped him off of his back.
Beautiful.
Sorry, John.
No, got to be somewhat encouraged if you're Ray Borg, but discouraged also that you had DJ's back and were unable to maintain it.
Well, he's having a little bit of success, which is better than most people. You know, he's got something going on. Mighty Mouse keeps going for that head and arm choke, and he's in a much better position for it now. Borg is in real trouble. He's got to get that left arm out of play. Mighty Mouse is in half guard here. He's going to try to slide that left leg through and get to full mount. Ray Borg's trying to circle with him, trying to go counterclockwise with him, keep up. But as soon as DJ slides that left leg through, he's hammering him.
Almost crucifix. Borg has to be careful with that left arm.
DJ, one of the few guys that consistently seems to get this crucifix position.
Yes, I'm sorry. I would say watch armbar there and Kimura.
Well, it's a little early for him to dive on something and not have full control with the body. I'd imagine he's going to soften him up before he tries to do something like that. As Borg's still a very explosive guy. Oh, nice knee to the body there, and DJ takes the left hook. He's got that left hook in for back control. Oh, nice knees to the body there by DJ. Beautiful knees.
Yeah, he's been working the body to great effect all night. Pushing on the face of Ray Borg here. Back to the clinch we go.
DJ with the takedown now. Into side control.
Total strikes, significant strikes, 40-1 for Demetrious Johnson, 62-1 in terms of the total strikes landed.
That is unbelievable, John. Through 2 rounds, Demetrious has outlanded him 62-1.
But that's what you expect when you're watching a guy like this. I mean, you're watching a virtuoso. And for Ray Borg, I mean, he's had his moments in this fight, particularly in grappling. But, I mean, he's finding out what it's like to fight the best. Nice knee to the body there from DJ on the ground.
Some shoulder strikes land for good measure.
He just does everything. I mean, that's the thing about him. You don't know what's coming, where it's coming from. Borg looking for the up kick. Dimitri nowhere to be seen.
10 minutes down.
Barely out of breath.
Here you watch Ray Borg change levels and get a beautiful double leg. Take Demetrious down and gain top control. Then he works his way to DJ's back, and then just like that, DJ gives him a little shake. He falls backwards. Mighty Mouse in top position, and then right there.
Nasty ground pound here. And DJ gets on top of you, softens you up with the ground and pound, usually before he goes for the submission.
If you do get a takedown against the cage, I need you to focus on getting him up and off of the cage. If we're just taking him down, he's going to get scrambling again, okay?
Yes, sir.
So when he gets his back to the cage, open up a little bit. When you're open, Matt, time those takedowns.
Yes, sir.
spin him. Okay. And just get that little distance ready for your knees, your punches, and your kicks to follow. Okay. Let's keep him up for a little bit longer this time. Okay. And then when you go down.
Ray Borg, he's coachable. He wants to be great so badly. He's scrambled the heck out of other flyweights, but there has to be some frustration that sets in when you're facing a guy like Demetrious Johnson. He has gotten next to nothing done on the feet tonight.
Well, when you're out there and he's giving his all, you know, he's in there. He still believes he's going to fight, obviously, but he goes to his best position. He gets a takedown and he just gets reversed. And you look at DJ and he has there's no signs that he's going to be slowing down at all over the course of this 25 minutes. So it does frustrate you.
But we might be looking at the future in Ray Borg. I mean, we're talking about a very young guy here. He's 24 years old. That's correct, right?
Yep. Born in 1993.
Amazing when you're looking at his record and the fact that he has been fighting in the octagon for 3 years. And now he's here in a world title fight against the best ever and is not without success here.
No.
But he's just getting outclassed.
DJ's going to go to the same position. He's going to beat him up a little bit when it's time to defend. He's just going to spin towards Ray Borg's back to free his left leg.
Well, let's see what kind of adjustments Ray makes, because he's been in here before. Let's see if he does something differently. And he tried. He tried.
Yes, he did.
DJ's looking for the choke here.
Front headlock position.
Pushing down on him. Just constantly on top of you. Just doesn't give you any chance. Doesn't make any mistakes.
DJ has struck to the body 33 times in the fight, has landed all of them. There's another knee.
What's really phenomenal about DJ is how little he gets hit.
And that's why the career can really be extended, right? He's taking no damage in the majority of these fights. So he can fight for as long as he wants, you know? So a guy like Ray Borg may be looking at Demetrious Johnson for another 5-6 years because he does not take much damage.
Well, the UFC's back at Madison Square Garden November 4th. UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping welcoming back George St. Pierre, plus 2 more title fights. UFC 217 from New York, November 4th. It is only on pay-per-view.
Knees to the body from half guard. When do you see that? Those are hard shots.
Finally, Borg lowers that elbow to prevent further damage.
And then he drops an elbow on him. I mean, it's just a systematic dismantling of every defense you have. Slowly but surely breaking your body down, just like you did with Wilson, and then eventually submitting him.
That's why you see such late finishes by Demetrious Johnson here lately, because he just breaks these guys down. So by the fourth and fifth round, you're discouraged, you're upset, but you're still in there. And then he hits you with the finishing blow, or he finds a submission with a second against Horiguchi. It's just that type of frustrating, upsetting fight because you really can't get anything going.
Yeah, it's just an overwhelming accumulation of beatings until finally you're a shell of who you were at the beginning of the first round, and then he gets you.
2 minutes now to go in this third round of a possible 5. Total strike picture, all Johnson. How about 97-4?
What's beautiful about it is how little damage he takes, and what a great example this is of how high-level MMA should look when it's played out perfectly. And you see Ray Borg here stuck again inside control, and DJ just continuing to work on those arms, pin them down. Ray Borg gets him back. He's got to use a lot of strength and energy to get him back. He's pinning it down again. Just constantly going for it, looking for a Kimura again, but he's inside control, and Ray scrambles and gets mounted immediately.
So early in the fight, Joe, he kept trying to go to the mount, and Borg was actually catching him in half guard when he would step over. This time he got all the way to his back, and now he's secured back position.
Secured back position, and you see Ray just frustrated and exhausted. DJ's just a step ahead every single move.
Less than a minute now to go in the round. I mean, pick your poison. Control time, almost 10 minutes already for Demetrious Johnson. You mentioned the striking defense coming in 69%, well above the UFC average.
And keep an eye on the arms of Ray Borg, because DJ for sure watched Fabricio Verdum submit Walt Harris. He might go for that. There's a big scramble, and on top again.
See, and normally when Borg scrambles, and quickly he's able to realize success, not against this guy.
And look at these little details, though. Look at how Demetrius puts himself between Ray Borg and the fence so that Ray can't use the fence to get back to his feet. It's just these little details that you don't notice right away at times, but he does them every time.
Oh, body shot. Nasty body shots. Ray looking for the submission here, though. Ray looking for the neck. Hard to tell where he's at.
As long
he's
as
definitely
DJ's
inside control here.
DJ's not in the middle, yeah, he's fine.
15 minutes down, Demetrius Johnson mixing the martial arts beautifully as usual.
Here he is in the mounted crucifix, ground and pound, knees to the body from half guard. I mean, when do you see that? Very rare, and never this effectively. On top with an elbow. And here's the end of the round. Spins off of him, on top, rip shots to the body. Sees those openings, takes him down again.
Let's keep doing that. Okay. Right? Just keep doing that. Even if you have to back out of the guard, keep doing it. If he goes to his turtle, control his head.
Okay.
Go for his back. Okay. Now, when you get to the cross-body position and you've got the forearm, this one's got to go down towards your legs. Okay. And then you're going to walk through it. Okay?
So technical.
Just always coaching those intricacies and technique. Matt Hume, the striking coach there, Brad Kirkson, who certainly doesn't get the credit that Matt Hume does, but another huge force in Demetrius Johnson's training camp.
And for a long time, John, people felt that you had to be at a big camp to have success, right? DJ has taken that thought and just really disposed of it. In the build-up to the fight, DJ said round 4 was the round that he was going to finish his fight. So it may not happen because Ray Borg's still in there. Yeah, he's fighting. He wants to win.
Chances.
It is the round.
Ray Borg's an animal. I mean, this kid is in it to win it. He's not trying to just lay down and let DJ run over him. He's trying his hardest.
And the shape Ray Borg's in. 4th round.
Oh, yeah.
Been getting beat up this whole time. Goes out there and takes him down right away.
You got to think he might have benefited from that extended training camp too. Didn't get too far off the weight. Takedowns.
Look at that knee from the takedown attempt, and he's got back to that same exact position. DJ presses down the head, and Ray realizes he can't do anything with it, and now he winds up on the bottom, and DJ's beating him up again.
Yep.
Borg trying to cover up here. One of those elbows got through and cut Ray Borg. 1 minute gone by here in round 4.
And for the guy that likes to wrestle and likes to grapple and likes to be in top position, this is a dream for Demetrius Johnson because we can do this all day. If you're in control and you're the guy not taking damage and you're the guy moving around on top of the opponent, making him carry your weight, you're fine. You can do this all day. It's when you start to deal with adversity. When you're the guy that's taking the damage, it's very difficult and you get tired.
And I don't know if DJ runs hot or not, but he's barely sweating, so.
It's just phenomenal conditioning. If you see some of the workouts that he does, some of the incline treadmill work and strength and conditioning programs that he gets put through. I mean, he's as conditioned as any athlete in the world.
Well, Ray Borg took some chances on the feet at the beginning of this round, landed a left hand that was probably his most significant strike of the fight.
But again, being controlled again, back to his feet. Another shot to the body. Hurt him there. Hurt him there to the body.
You start to see Ray Borg grimace a little bit now when these body shots are landed.
There's another one. They're so accurate.
Walk those legs out. Walk those legs out. Yep, there it is. Bang the legs up. Bang the legs up.
Fingers out of the cage.
Johnson staying busy. Borg fires back, but Ray getting a breather here.
Control.
Borg finally starting to show some signs of exhaustion.
He just tried to attack guillotine again. Demetrius ducks under it, takes his back, and then kicks him.
I mean, there is a method to every movement for Demetrius Johnson. Standing on the ground in transition, he has outstruck Ray Borg 127-11 and counting.
John, stop making jokes. Joe's the comedian. 127-11. John, you're a funny guy, but 127-11, that's crazy.
That's truth.
That's insane, right?
That's truth, man. I'm telling you.
Go open for Rogan. You know, we just make jokes about how bad DJ beats up people. It's crazy. 128 strikes to 11 is insane.
There was 12. Oh, taken down, lands on his head.
And that's a high
good.
amplitude takedown from the clinch, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's impressive.
That sound was his head bouncing off the canvas. That's no bueno.
So, Champ, if Ray Borg sees a 5th round here, do you just go balls to the wall? And
He's pressing here very hard. He stepped over and took a big chance to slide that knee across the belly. DJ's putting a tremendous amount of pressure on him, looking to get that finish. And you're seeing Ray wilt, and that's why he's doing this. He's feeling it, and he's really turning up the heat. He's feeling Ray crack, he's feeling less resistance, and he's ramping it up accordingly like he does in every fight.
I think if you're Ray Borg, John, you have to just, or anyone that's fighting Demetrious Johnson, unless it's a TJ Dillashaw, a Dominic Cruz, a Cody Garbrandt. Yeah, I think you have to just go all out right away like Tim Elliott did. That fight found success. Because otherwise you just get broken down, as we're seeing here. We saw it in the Hayes fight. Every fight, when he's having success, when he's at his best, they look very familiar. And that's when you know DJ's fighting at his best. Oh, nice foot.
You know, it's a shame that DJ didn't want to fight TJ when he had that opportunity, because that's a real challenge. I mean, that's a real world champion fight. I know he wanted to break this record, and I know he was concerned that TJ had never made flyweight before, and he wanted to fight someone who's already established in the division.
Right.
Makes sense. He's going for an armbar here. He's stepping over and he's controlling the arm.
20 minutes down, 5 minutes to go as Demetrious Johnson zeroes in on an 11th successful title defense. We'll look back at round 4.
You watch DJ from Top Control land these beautiful elbows on Ray Borg. Elbow, elbow, punch, punch, punch. Then again, elbow. And then right here, hands go up to block your head. Boom! Knee by Demetrious Johnson.
And look at this kick from this position here. I mean, it didn't land, but just the fact that he tried it. And look at this slam. And you see the head bounce off the canvas. That sucks.
It's what? No bueno?
No bueno.
Now,
no bueno
got to go
get
to
the head
ground,
bounced.
in towards your leg first, like a key lock.
Okay.
Okay, because you push it down like a key lock, so it bends his elbow up, then put it into your legs.
Gotcha.
Okay? You're trying to fight his bicep, just push it down. Okay?
Good job, guys.
And there's Destiny Johnson, wife of Demetrious Johnson. Anxious moments here as her husband closes in on a record that he really has sought for a long time. You also heard Matt Hume there talking about some specific submission strategy, Joe. They've really prioritized finishing fights.
They certainly have, and I mean, that was the knock on him, as you said, earlier in his career. But since the Horiguchi fight, the Joseph Benavidez, I mean, pretty much everybody, Moraga, he finishes everybody now. Can he finish Ray Borg? That's the question.
No one has before.
And Ray Borg, hats off to Ray Borg, because at the beginning of every round when he's on his feet fighting, he really is letting everything fly and trying to find a way to still win this fight. 20 minutes in, down on the scorecards, he's still fighting with intensity, with intent to win, because as soon as DJ goes to attack him, he tries to choke him. This kid's not giving up on himself.
He's very, very game. He's just outmatched. But as you said many times before, DC, he's getting the rub. And I bet we're going to see a better Ray Borg after this fight.
I don't like when DJ looks at me whenever he's fighting. He's like looking at me and like smiling and making weird faces, and it's intimidating me, Joe. I don't want to look at him. It's like now I can't watch the fight. I'm looking down at the table.
He's a little too relaxed.
Oh.
He's just so aware. And
but still doing his thing.
Yeah, and just beating Ray Borg senseless here. On top of him, controlling the position, shots to the body here, another knee to the body, and looking to step over it. Look at this, Ray Borg, though, grabbing hold of that leg. Let's see if he can complete it. Ray Borg still game.
Just
very
limp
game.
leg,
Kick to the
leg
body.
by DJ to come out. And now Borg, again, like I said, Borg, man, he's in there to win the fight.
Absolutely, just not giving up at all. Look at him, swinging hard. And DJ takes him down once more. Steps over, got to step over completely.
3.5 minutes now to go. But Borg has been closing the distance, choosing to wrestle and grapple as opposed to trying to strike. Certainly hasn't had much success on the feet while they've been there. 136 to 13 now in terms of the total strikes for Demetrious Johnson.
That's insane. I mean, that number's crazy.
Right? Like, we've got to be approaching some sort of record for least amount of strikes.
Look at this. Full mount.
Over 5 rounds.
And he's got the neck. Ray Borg he's straining to get up instead of using technique.
Yep.
And that's how you get caught. When you just explode and use all your muscles and your strength to try to get up. Look at that scramble, though. You gotta love this kid. You gotta love Ray Borg.
Yep.
You really do. I mean, because outclassed, outmatched, and not an ounce of give up in him.
No quit in him.
And certainly from a conditioning standpoint, he's been rendered defensive for most of this fight, but he put himself in position to go 5 hard with DJ.
Yeah, I mean, he's taken ruthless shots to the body. He's been beaten up. He's taken over 100 shots in this fight, and yet he's still in tremendous shape here in the 5th and final round against the best ever.
And if DJ can't get him out of there, you wonder what it's going to take to finish a guy like Ray Borg. Just over 2 minutes now to go.
Yeah, in many ways, if he can get through this next 2 minutes, it'll be a moral victory for him.
How many guys would just lay there? Oh,
whoa! Oh! Right into an armbar! Phenomenal!
Oh my goodness!
Oh my God!
No! Oh my God!
Look at Ray Borg! Ray Borg is a savage.
Unbelievable. Borg refusing to... Oh, there it is! Demetrious Johnson!
Who's better? Who's better? Who's better? Who's better?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Wow.
We are all witnesses tonight as Demetrious Johnson enters rarefied air, 11 consecutive title defenses.
And getting better. He's better than he's ever been.
This is going on top 10 plays of the day. This one's going to Sports Center. Did you see that? Picked him up, dumped him, jumped right into an armbar. Another finish for Demetrious Johnson.
And there's your 2017 ESPY winner for Best Fighter, Demetrious Johnson. 7 finishes in 11 defenses. Let's get to the fight replay brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
You got to think, too, when we're looking at the numbers, how far ahead he was in this fight, and yet still he does this. Look, he throws him through the air, catches the arm while he's on his way down, and traps the armbar.
At this point, you're just messing around. At this point, you're just showing off. Hey, Joe, at this point, you're just showing off. It looked like he was going to suplex him, right? Looked like he was going to suplex him, slammed him back to the mat with a mat return right into an armbar. And look at Ray Borg. He doesn't want to quit. He's just stuck.
Ray Borg's an animal. I mean, all praise to Ray Borg because really, but look at that. I mean, in the air, transitions to an armbar. Who does that?
Show off.
All right, well, we're going to take one more look at it, DC, in real time, and you can see just how quickly DJ made the proper transitions to eventually force the tap from Borg.
I may get to do this to John Anik. That's fine.
Here it is in real time.
Look at how fast. The only person I can do this to is maybe John. John, there's a weight difference. I don't know if you know jiu-jitsu much. You miss a lot of your classes. If I'm going to do this to anybody, it's Anik. DJ just did it in a championship fight at the highest level of mixed martial arts. Unbelievable. I mean, most guys aren't even willing to try anything like that, John. But he was so comfortable. He didn't have to finish his fight. He was on his way to one of the most dominant championship performances we had ever seen. And look at what he did to finish the fight.
Well, Matt Hume was hoping DJ tonight would show that he is the greatest fighter in the history of combat sports. Certainly an argument to be made. The official decision brought to you by Metro PCS, who brings you closer than ever to the UFC on a fast nationwide 4G LTE network. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Dan Mergliano has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 15 seconds of round number 5. Declaring the winner by submission due to an armbar, and still the undisputed UFC flyweight champion of the world, Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson.
Hold on to that, man. Don't let that thing go. You earned that. You, tonight, made history. How does that feel, and how did this fight go according to your expectations?
Yeah, shout out to Las Vegas. Thank you so much to the first responders and being the first on the scene to take care of everybody. We're forever in your doubt. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be able to break this record in front of you guys. You know, Ray Borg was running his mouth saying my scramble game was garbage. I don't know, so I was just playing around, looking at DC, grunting and all stuff. And then I hit that suplex to armbar so many times in the gym. And I knew I was gonna get it. When he was against the cage, he was staying there, and I was like, no, knee, move him. He went in, I was like, got it, and went for it.
Well, let's take a look at it, because I've never seen anybody do that in an MMA fight before. You threw him through the air, and on his way down, you catch the armbar. I mean, that is just sick.
That's what we do, you know? Like I said before, you know, I'm not gonna come out here and bang and show I have power. I'm not in the business to get hit and take concussions. Shit's way overrated. I'm telling you right now. I'm in a business and getting here and make a fool of you, throw you in the air like a bag of potatoes, throw you down between my legs and break your arm.
Well, all credit to Ray Borg for taking that beating before you submitted him, because the numbers of significant blows were staggering in comparison to the amount that you got hit, and that's why I think you're the greatest. And also, I think you're the greatest example to up-and-coming mixed martial artists of how to do it correctly. You made history tonight for the most ever title defenses, and I don't think there's a doubt in anyone's mind that you are the pound-for-pound best fighter the world has ever known. It was an honor calling your fight. Thank you very much. Mighty Mouse, ladies and gentlemen, Demetrious Johnson!
Give me chills, Joe Rogan. So 11 successful title defenses in modern-day mixed martial arts, DC. Absolutely absurd. I feel pretty confident in saying this is a UFC record that will withstand the test of time.
You know, man, a lot of guys get into this sport, and it's unfathomable to believe that you could win the UFC championship, much less defend it 11 times in doing things that we just don't see inside the octagon. I mean, it's amazing that he was able to just transition from this mat return to the armbar so fast. Demetrious Johnson, pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the world, greatest fighter of all time, greatest UFC champion of all time. When we watched Anderson Silva break this record, you thought there was no chance ever. But I honestly find it difficult to see an end date to this reign, that he continues to get better as he's shown us every time he steps foot in the octagon.
And now live from T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas, Nevada, it is time for the main event for UFC 216, Ferguson versus Lee. 9 consecutive wins, all of them with style points, have led Tony Ferguson to the brink of UFC glory tonight. He draws the Vegas-based Motown phenom Kevin Lee with the UFC Interim Lightweight Championship on the line.
I have to tell you that one of the most pivotal moments in my life was when I broke my arm. It made me question whether or not I wanted to do this. Should I just go get a cubicle job? Should I go just lay down and die? That.
And the UFC 216 main event, Tony Ferguson takes on Kevin Lee for the interim lightweight title.
This will be the first time in a long time that Tony Ferguson is meeting an opponent that's going to match him in cardio.
Tony Ferguson is always an exciting fight. Why? Because he takes a lot of risks. Kevin Lee, this guy is on a 5-fight win streak. 4 of those were stoppages.
There's the tap! The Motown phenom!
This was the fight to make. Nobody in this division wants to fight Tony Ferguson. That's what gets me up about this fight. I love a challenge. It's gonna be a dog fight. I love a dog fight. I'm gonna Tony up.
All the trash that Kevin Lee's talking, it's fuel for my fire. I like to do my talking inside the octagon. Why'd you want to pick a fight with the boogeyman?
Oh, good left hook by Ferguson. Oh, my goodness.
Tony, you know you done up. You know you up when you walked up on me at International Fight Week. I can see it in your eyes. You know. El Cuckoo going to sleep.
Look, Tony, I'm a You can go ahead. You can go ahead and keep saying it. All right. Man, this guy said everything he could possibly say. He said he's gonna me up. Dog, you got balls.
Tony Ferguson!
Wow! Me and Tony were bound to fight, whether it was gonna be in headlining in T-Mobile Arena for a world championship, or if it was gonna be in my backyard.
Beautifully done by Kevin Lee.
Yeah, I don't think Kevin Lee understands what he's getting in the octagon with. I'm an animal, man. Be ready to battle. You got your hands full, kid.
This is for the real UFC lightweight championship. McGregor's got the paper champ, but the man's only got 1 fight in the division. So after this, maybe Conor can work his way up to me.
fights.
Yeah.
You get to watch more after that?
Actually more.
Corner here is the Motown phenom Kevin Lee. Remarkably, he's only been training since June of 2011. Joe, he was a full-time student at Grand Valley State University when the UFC call came in 2014. 3.5 short years later, he will compete for a UFC title.
Well, he's unquestionably a special athlete, and that's why he's done so well, and that's why he's here tonight. He's something special.
Tonight's Prep Point brought to you by 7-Eleven. Head out to your neighborhood 7-Eleven and pick up your UFC-branded Big Gulp for a chance to instantly win UFC merchandise, food, and beverage prizes, or even a new Harley Davidson.
The question is, given that seemingly limited amount of experience in martial arts training and competition, does he have enough? What is that on his chest? Is that staph? What's going on his left pec?
That was nowhere to be found yesterday.
Does that look like staph to you? That looks like staph. I hope that's not a staph infection.
Because if it is, not only would it be bad, that's with your cardio too.
Yeah. Especially if he's on some sort of antibiotics.
Yeah.
We don't know what that is. I mean, it could be anything. I didn't see that yesterday.
Right, it was not there yesterday.
Now, when you look at what you're seeing in a guy like Kevin Lee, is you're seeing a really young guy, 25 years old, who is not even in his peak yet, but shows all these signs of greatness and shows these giant leaps of improvement in between fights. That's what makes tonight so interesting and exciting. Coming from Francisco Trinaldo to Michael Chiesa, we saw a better version of Kevin Lee, and I expect we'll see a better version tonight.
Another young guy getting his opportunity, right? We saw Ray Borg at 24, got his opportunity. Kevin Lee steps in at 25, fighting for a world championship at a very young age. Very few guys can accomplish it that young. And big opportunity here tonight for me.
And we talk so much about Matt Hume and DJ. Robert Follis has been a stabilizing force for Kevin Lee. What a moment it would be if he could take out Tony Ferguson tonight. Self-believing Tony Ferguson, the #2 ranked lightweight contender. He makes the walk tonight, owner of the longest winning streak in the illustrious history of this UFC lightweight division. And in terms of self-belief and creativity and all of his different skills and the legendary stories we hear in training, there may never be another El Cucuy.
He's a different guy. I've worked with him at Fox. I've spent time with him at the studio, and these thoughts are the same. This is not an act from Tony Ferguson. This is who he is. He likes to be eccentric. He likes to be a little different because it's equaled nothing but success. This young man is quickly becoming one of the most successful guys to ever come off of The Ultimate Fighter. He gets a job done tonight. Not many guys have been champs, but the consistency that he has shown in the octagon is really unmatched by anybody else that's been on the show, and he has seen the level of competition. Kevin Lee hasn't seen the level of competition that Tony Ferguson has been in the octagon with.
Well, my good friend Eddie Bravo's been spending time. He's Tony's jiu-jitsu coach, he's been spending time with him in Big Bear. He said Tony makes all of his own training equipment. He builds his own gym. He goes up to Big Bear, he rents a house and fills it with mats, makes all of his training equipment, runs the hills, runs laps around all of his training partners. He said he's never seen anybody with the kind of cardio and work ethic this guy has, that he's a freak. Now we know when we've seen inside the octagon, he's incredibly unpredictable and creative. He's got a very unusual style, the way he moves, and he practices very unusual things. If you see some of his workouts, it's almost like he's breakdancing. I mean, a lot of what he does is like flowy, sort of yoga-type movements. On top of that, with explosive cardio movements, running, hill sprints, fantastic cardio. I mean, this guy can keep the pace for 5 rounds easy.
I could watch him drill hip escapes for an hour, right? I mean, he's that entertaining.
Yeah, and he would do that too.
Probably for 6 hours.
John, I'm kind of surprised he took his glasses off. He never takes his glasses off. They got him to take them off tonight.
No headphones on either.
He wore his ankle weights to weigh in yesterday. What?
Well, Tony Ferguson has been out nearly a year, not because he's been injured. He was to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov back at UFC 209 for this UFC interim title. That fight did not happen tonight. Tony Ferguson, and well-deserved, I might add, gets his first crack at a piece of the UFC gold. So here we are with this championship main event. Tony Ferguson, 33 years old. Kevin Lee just turned 25 last month. Ferguson, 2 inches taller. He weighed in 155 pounds. Kevin Lee, after some trials, 154 and a hook. The Motown Phenom will have a half-inch reach advantage. And now to get us the official introductions for our main event, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Anthony Marnell, Executive Director Bob Bennett, Commissioners Stacey Alonso, Skip Avancino, Dr. Dan Carpenter, and Sandra Douglas Morgan. Our 3 judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Derek Clearly, Marcos Rosales, and Chris Lee. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Herb Dean. This bout is sponsored by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Metro PCS, who brings you closer than ever to the UFC on a fast nationwide 4G LTE network. And now, this is the moment UFC fans watching around the world have been waiting for. Live from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, it's time! 5 rounds for the interim UFC Lightweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 16 wins, 2 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 154 pounds. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Detroit, Michigan, presenting the number 7 ranked lightweight contender in the world, Kevin the Motown Phenom Lee! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a freestyle fighter holding a professional record, 23 wins, 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. Fighting out of Orange County, California, presenting the Ultimate Fighter Season 13 winner and the number 2 ranked lightweight contender in the world, Tony El Cucuy Ferguson!
All right, gentlemen, we've been with the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. We're gonna do this clean. Touch gloves and let's do it.
Okay. Here we go, folks. Tony Ferguson, Kevin Lee for the UFC Interim Lightweight Championship, 2 former Grand Valley State University wrestlers. meeting for gold on the greatest proving ground in mixed martial arts, Tony Ferguson. A minus 260 favorite tonight.
Ready.
The comeback on Kevin Lee at plus 200. We are underway. Tony Ferguson is wearing gray. Kevin Lee is in blue. Ferguson talked a lot this week, DC, about that wrestling career as Kevin Lee lands the high kick early, really, that it embedded his mental toughness, being a two-time national champion, team captain.
Yeah, he said that that's the difference between him and Kevin Lee. He let his accomplishments do the talking for him. And he said he was going to take this opportunity to shut Kevin up. But Kevin's landed some nice shots to start the fight.
He landed a good right hand there. One thing about Tony is that Tony has been able to endure, kick the leg out there. He's been able to endure some bad situations inside the octagon. The Lando Venata fight is a perfect example of that.
He does hang his chin up there a little bit.
A little bit.
Right there on that left hook, Kevin Lee barely missed. He's doing it. Ferguson's chin was up there, his right hand was down. He's got to be very careful in there.
Well, Tony's taking his time here, and he has done that in the past before.
Kevin Lee's striking is so tight, man. The jab is straight. The right hand's not looping at all. Everything is coming out very tight right now, and he's being very active on his feet and elusive. You know, look at that. Look at the footwork he's showing right now. And then he throws an overhand right.
Oh, nice jab.
Gone by here in round one, and at times during Kevin Lee's streak, his striking has been a means to an end as he knocks Ferguson down, or so it appeared.
Oh, he hurt him. He hurt Kevin Lee. He just hurt Kevin Lee.
Tony got poked in the eye.
He just hurt Kevin.
And he keeps touching his right eye. He definitely hurt Kevin there. He's being patient here.
Good counter right from Kevin Lee.
Watch it. Tony's left hand is coming down, coming back very low, John.
He brings it down low, and the jab comes up from there. And one of the reasons he does that is because you can't see it coming, like Tommy Hearns used to do in his prime. Oh, Kevin caught him with that left hand there.
You can feel the tension in the building here as we hit the midpoint of round one.
Kevin's on top, Tony's in mission control.
Yep, gotta be very careful there. If you're Kevin Lee, you gotta be very aware.
His right arm is trapped. He's locked up here. Tony's got a very good position on him here with rubber guard. And Kevin's right arm is locked up. He's gotta yank that arm out. And Tony's gonna try to control it and then transition to an omoplata. But Kevin's stepping over nicely. Exactly, and then Kevin's gonna wind up on top of Tony here. Tony's still holding onto that arm though. Kevin's on top here. Tony on bottom, and Kevin's landing some good knees.
Looks like a cut on the eyelid, the right eyelid of Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, that was from the poke from earlier in the fight.
With
he kept touching it.
Excuse me, Joe, with this takedown, Kevin Lee has now taken down 11 of his 12 UFC opponents. Trying to get the ground and pound going here, just over a minute to go in round one.
The armbar's not there. The arm is too low. But he's going for it. And look at this. North-south position for Kevin. Is not a good position here for Tony. Kevin's in an excellent position here. He may try to transition to crucifix. He's inside control here now. Tony trying to scramble and trying to get his right knee in between the two of them. But Kevin holding side control here.
And because of how good Kevin Lee is, most guys, as wrestlers, will try to give their backs to get up. You can't give your back against Kevin Lee because he's so good on your back.
Kevin on top. Full mount. Big elbows coming down from Kevin Lee.
24 seconds.
It's a very bad position here for Tony, and a very good one for Kevin. Dropping bombs down on Tony Ferguson. Tony's got to survive here. Big elbows. High mounts here for Kevin. Tony's in a lot of trouble. Tony's trying to escape, and he escaped. But a big round for Kevin Lee.
And a strike after the round landed for Eddie Dean immediately in between the fighters. Let's see how he chooses to assess things, right?
You don't hit after I stop it. Don't you do that again.
So, excuse me, DC, so a stern warning from Herb Dean. He didn't take a point away for the strike after the horn.
They said 2 in the cage.
There's a Ferguson leg kick, and you see Kevin get hurt there, and there's a good punch by Kevin. Tony goes down, and here's the takedown, and Tony tried to scramble, but Kevin wound up on top in this exchange, and here's the bad time for Tony. Kevin Lee on top, full mount, dropping bombs. Big elbows, big punches, full mount, got high mount position here. Now here's the end, the scramble, the end of the bell, and he lands one shot and then goes for a second one.
Fight.
Well, the bad blood between these two former Grand Valley State wrestlers is very real. There is respect, certainly Ferguson respecting Lee for signing on the dotted line when, in his opinion, others weren't willing to do so, but they do not like each other.
Right hand over the top right there for Tony that connected.
We've seen Tony Ferguson deal with some real bad rounds. The Edson Barboza round coming back and ended up submitting him to win the fight. So Kevin Lee needs to stay the course. He's got to be focused as this fight goes on because Ferguson never gives up on himself.
It was a good high kick there for Ferguson on the forearms of Kevin Lee. You don't want to take too many of those there.
Ferguson, a guy, though, you need to separate from consciousness, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you need to put him to sleep somehow.
Much like Evan Dunham we saw earlier.
Yeah.
There's just zero quit in Tony Ferguson.
Nice jab by
Changing
Kevin
jab,
Lee. Yeah.
both men.
Tony really leaves his chin up in the air when he's throwing punches, man.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah. He's got to be very careful.
Well, he's so offensive-minded and so confident in his ability to absorb a shot, he's almost inviting his opponent to hit him.
Lee just out of range with that right hand.
Lee's doing a good job of trying to stay. Trying to stay the course, not trying to play into the game when Tony starts to roll his arm at him.
Good kick to the body there from Kevin, but he fell
Good
down
kick.
with it.
Those jabs are landing now. Oh, nice sprawl.
Good kick
Nice
to the
body kick, Lee, yes.
Dewey Cooper's got to like what he's seen in terms of Kevin Lee striking here tonight as we approach the 3-minute mark in round 2 of a possible fight.
Well, Kevin certainly has a much more classic stance, holds his hands up high and very good defensively, whereas Tony is just so weird and unorthodox in his movements.
Nice 1-2 there from El Cucuy.
And you see why Kevin Lee was so heavy. Look at how much he's filled out by fight night. Because if you get small, as Tony Ferguson was small, he doesn't look as big right now as Kevin Lee, as thick.
Well, we'll see what happens if this fight goes into the 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's a big drain on your
It's
body.
a big weight cut, man.
It is hard to simulate the octagon, though, and even though Ferguson has a decided edge in terms of the high-level experience, Kevin Lee's fought 3 times since Ferguson last competed. He's been very active.
Kevin's doing a good job of countering, but Tony's really finding his range now with the jab and then the lead right hand.
And then if that is a staph infection on Kevin's chest, and we think it is, how much is that draining?
Oh, it gets you tired because either you're taking antibiotics or you're doing nothing, but it is a sickness. You know, so it will drain you. You will get tired.
Oh,
elbow,
stepped in with an elbow.
yeah.
Very nice.
That's what you have to watch when you're fighting Tony Ferguson. You don't know what's coming. You think punch, here comes elbow.
And things are coming from weird angles. He keeps his hands
now
down.
He's talking to him. They're both talking.
Yeah, well, Tony started it and Kevin landed hard.
It said, yeah, what's up?
Oh, look at that.
Big right
Nice.
hand. Tony Ferguson has a chin on him.
There's some blood coming out of the nose of Kevin Lee.
Yeah, I think it was from that elbow. 1 minute now to go in round 2. Significant strikes in round 2. Advantage El Cucuy.
If you're Kevin Lee, you can't allow Ferguson to get too comfortable the way he starts really freestyling and having fun. Because that's when he's at his best, when he's just playing.
Good kick to the body by Kevin.
So you might think talking trash is good, you know, but this guy's comfortable there. He's comfortable playing around. That's why it always looks like he's breakdancing and stuff.
Yeah. Was it scramble?
Wizard by Ferguson to get out.
A lot of energy and a big deep breath.
Kevin's starting to breathe heavy.
And
pretty early.
Tony Ferguson is very patient.
You know, you watch him at the weigh-in, and Kevin was very emotional. You know, you wonder if that plays a part too in the fatigue as the fight goes on.
Nice kick to the body.
Herb Dean wisely gets in there quickly at the end of the round.
Sit down. Mouthpiece. Breathing. Mouthpiece. You're looking good, man. Hey, take some deep breaths.
Breathe through your mouth.
Nice big deep breaths into your mouth. That's it. I feel.
Okay.
Nice straight punches. Don't wind up.
Yeah.
Take your time, but you're setting one punch at a time.
Hey, Kevin, we need combination punches. Slow, speed, power, okay? Combination punches, okay?
Yeah.
Just not let him coerce you into fight his pace, okay? Stay on your own rhythm, champ.
You ready for a sit?
Yes, sir.
Keep your hands up. Watch the takedown. He's flat-footed and slow. He's flat-footed and slow. Watch the takedown.
The unauthorized reproduction or distribution of this copyright work is illegal and punishable under law. So, Joe, a tale of two corners. Tony Ferguson on his feet talking trash. Kevin Lee on the other side.
Tony's pointing to him. He's saying, this is my round, not yours, my round. Kevin Lee said in between rounds that he's feeling tired.
It's too early in a 5-round fight with a guy like Tony Ferguson to start feeling the fatigue.
And Tony Ferguson is a patient wolf.
Even if you go up 2-0, big double leg level change by Lee.
Don't grab the
fence. He just grabbed the fence. Takedown by Lee.
Big takedown. A lot of effort though. If Tony survives this and he can move back to his feet.
That was a big takedown. Took a lot of energy and effort. He needs to keep Ferguson down for a while so he can try to regain a little bit of that energy that he used to get that takedown. And if you're Kevin Lee, you really do want to be in the top position as you dominated that position in the first round.
Tony is sliding that that left knee up high, and that will serve to prevent Kevin from being able to get real leverage down on his shots. He's making some space in between the two of them and putting a blockade up. See how he's using that left knee? He's got that foot on the hip now as well. And he's gonna eventually push him off. He's gonna wait, there it is.
There's frustration in that too, right? Because you did get that takedown, and now he's back up on his feet,
now you're
right
tired.
back in your face.
And he was tired at the beginning of this round. How tired is he now?
Well, clearly it's a wrestling approach here. Perhaps feels like that'll help preserve the cardio for the championship rounds if we get there.
Tony's starting to walk him down.
Yes. Kevin Lee has to make Tony respect him, back him off of him. He's got to do something to back Tony Ferguson off of him right now.
Or if he gets a takedown, he's got to do some real damage.
Yeah.
He's got to hold him down and do some real damage.
Advanced position. But you're starting to see the fatigue set a little bit for Kevin Lee.
But Tony's giving him a chance here to recover.
Ferguson advancing 42%, 18% for Kevin Lee. But you're right, Lee getting some sort of breathing here in this round. Well, don't miss a complete recap of all the action from UFC 216. Our post-fight show tonight is on FS2 immediately following our main event. It also streams live on Fox Sports Go.
Tony is not being very elusive here. He's standing right in front of him, and there's another nice takedown from Kevin Lee.
Kevin Lee's round so far, so even though Tony looks fresher, and Tony is the one that's talking, Kevin Lee is winning this round with takedowns.
Tony's looking for the armbar.
And it's presented itself.
Oh, he's got it.
This time.
He's got it.
Oh, yeah.
He's
in
got it.
trouble. Oh, it's over.
He's going to break his arm.
Oh, no.
Oh, look at
Nice
that!
job, Kevin Lee.
Beautiful step over.
Wow.
Kevin Lee. Wow.
Watch triangle.
No, he doesn't have the triangle.
Big elbow.
Man, tremendous, tremendous. Kevin Lee. I mean, I thought his arm was donezo there.
Seconds away from a UFC championship. Instead, we trek onward. Less than 2 minutes here to go round 3.
The elbow's on the outside. As long as the elbow's on the outside, he's okay. It's when he gets that elbow inside towards the belly button area that Kevin's in trouble. Right now he's in trouble. That's not good. He's got to keep it out of there.
He cannot stick his arm out there.
Yeah, but he's not clamping it down.
You cannot try to find places to rest if you're Kevin Lee.
Oh, he's got the triangle.
No, you cannot try to find places to rest if you're Kevin Lee. You've got to be moving. He should be defending right now.
Not only is he out of
trouble. He's in trouble, Joe.
He is in trouble.
He's in a lot of trouble, Joe.
He's got the arm on the outside, but he's going to pull the head. Let's see if Kevin can survive this.
If Tony
it's better if the arm is across.
Yes. Oh,
that's it. That's it.
Tony Ferguson.
He went out.
Has done it. Tony Ferguson is the UFC interim lightweight champion of the world. And what a display of mutual respect there.
Wow.
Ferguson had to work for it. Was likely down on the scorecards. But this is a hard man to outlast over 25.
Kevin Lee is openly weeping in the center of the octagon. I mean, he's got his hands in his head, he's on his knees, and he's just crying here.
Joe, and honestly, when something means that much to you, you can do that. You can do that if it means that much. So there's no, you can't hit your head about. There is no shame in that. It meant that much to Kevin Lee.
Well, and his tagline has been, "We just getting started," and Kevin Lee is just getting started. You got to think at some point he'll work his way back into a championship situation. But Tony Ferguson is just a problem.
Yeah, I mean, he is a problem, and he's so effective in so many different places. Now let's see the first armbar, and amazing that Kevin survived this. Let's take a look at it here. He's dropping the elbows, he sets it up, boom, he's got it. Now look how tight this is. He's got this arm completely hyperextended. I mean, this is bad here. But look at this, Kevin steps over.
Yeah.
Now here, later in the round, he sets up the armbar. The right leg goes over the top. And he's setting up the triangle here. Pulls down. And he did the triangle when the arm is on the outside, which makes it more difficult to secure. But Tony's got an amazing squeeze, and he's pulling down on the head. And that's what causes the tap.
That fight replay was brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Finally, Tony Ferguson can exhale. Waited 9 months after what we thought would be a championship opportunity in February, and the emotion spilling over for a down but not defeated for long Motown phenom Kevin Lee. He felt like the backdrop of everything that had happened in Vegas would test his focus and his championship mindset. Lee obviously disappointed, but nice to see two elite combatants embrace after the fight. The official decision brought to you by Metro PCS, who brings you closer than ever to the UFC on a fast nationwide 4G LTE network. One final time tonight. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 2 seconds of round number 3. Declaring the winner by submission due to a triangle choke. And now, the new interim UFC lightweight champion of the world, Tony El Cucuy Ferguson.
I'm here with the winner and new UFC interim lightweight champion of the world, Tony Ferguson. How good does that sound?
Whoa! Fucking amazing! Fuck yeah!
It's been a long time, Tony. You've been on an unprecedented win streak, and with this submission, you're now the UFC interim lightweight champion. Give us your thoughts on how this fight played out. Was there anything that was surprising about it to you?
Absolutely not. This went the exact way I wanted it to be. I wanted him to come at me, use all that aggression, leave no energy for that submission.
Let's take a look at that submission.
I didn't even know. I think I saw that mention. No, they didn't see that. But I didn't see it. I know. Yeah, look at my face. I did.
You start pulling down the head. You put the arm on the outside, and once you started pulling down the head, did you know you had it?
Absolutely. I try not to get any pump off of that. Just use textbook. I'm probably 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu. Don't talk shit about my stuff.
Now, you are the interim champion. Of course, Conor McGregor is the lightweight champion. Give us your thoughts on that matchup.
Where you at, McNuggets, you fucking piece of shit? I'm gonna kick your ass. You better come and fucking defend that belt. Defend or vacate, motherfucker.
Tony, congratulations on a spectacular performance. Tony Ferguson, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, baby. Get it. My time, my belt. Come and get that shit.
I'm here with Kevin Lee. Kevin, it was a great fight for as long as it lasted. Give us your thoughts on the fight and how it all played out.
I underestimated his work from the bottom, the elbows. But, you know, what can I say, man? I thought I came out here, gave my best, but, yeah.
We noticed coming into the fight that you have this on your chest. Is that a staph infection?
Yeah. I just